Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Battle Court Jai-Alai. Tonight's game day will feature the Devils and the Cyclones. And with that, I want to welcome everybody into another edition of the Winter 25 Battle Court season. I'm Andrew Blackman, joined as always by Stu Nyman to bring you this matchup today between the Devils and the Cyclones. How you doing today, Stu?
Doing great, Andrew. Looking forward to an exciting afternoon of Jai-Alai action.
Yeah, winding down this Winter 25 season, there's been some great game days the last week and a half or so, and maybe add another one tonight. Playoff hopes on the line. Let's take a look at those standings and see exactly where all 6 of our teams stack up right now. Fireball's up at the top with 8.5 points. They're the only team that has clinched a playoff spot so far. You see the Cyclones down in 6th place, but a win tonight would keep their season alive. They did it last Friday against the Renegades, now looking to extend their season once again. Now you see the Devils up there. They do lead the tiebreaker over the Renegades, so the Devils are in 2nd place. A tie today will give the Devils enough points to clinch a playoff spot. So the Devils are looking for at least 3 wins. The Cyclones are looking for 4 or more. And let's get right into it with this 2nd division doubles match. Ferronda and Benny out there for the Devils. Ferronda will be subbing for Jairo, and they'll take on Ikeda and Manu. Ferronda and Benny 4-4 this year, but that's down in Division 3. Ikeda and Manu 1-7 this year in Division 2. We'll see how this game day begins. Ferronda and Benny will have the serve.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin our first match of the game day. Ferronda has the serve for the Devils. Ferronda serves. We begin. Beautiful catch by Benny behind the 13 line. Here's Ikeda on the forehand. Cortada stopped by Ferronda. Manu, backhand from the 13. Benny's there, backhand from the 11. Here's Ferronda mid-court, backhand to the inside. Manu is there. Benny back to the inside. Manu calls for the catch. Hard backhand from the 10 line. Here's a backhand by Benny to the inside. Ikeda takes it in the air. Hard backhand from the 8 line. Benny's there. Ikeda, powerful backhand. Robote coming out. Manu, backhand from the 11. That ball touched the overhead screen. First point goes to Ferronda and Benny of the Devils.
Oh, you always talk about Manu's ability to stop the ball and control the ball. An example right there, a rare miss. I mean, Manu just didn't have full control. He makes his normal swing, but just sends it a little bit too high.
We're good to go. Thank you.
First point going the way of the Devils.
Good hard serve by Ferronda crossing the wall. Manu makes a fine catch. Here's Benny, low and hard to the inside. Backhand to the inside, good catch and return by Ferronda. Manu, difficult catch at the side wall. Benny looking for the rebote. He's got the 10 line, plays it high. Off the tip of Ikeda Sesta it goes. That's 2 points for Ferronda and Benny. Ferronda serves.
And not the mistake you want to see from Ikeda. I mean, he's reaching back behind him with Manu in the backcourt. It hasn't been a great year for this Ikeda and Manu team. I mean, they have Manu here in the back, who is one of, if not the best backcourters on the roster, so at any moment they can get it going. But Ikeda's got to do just a little bit more up in the front to keep the team in it. Oh, that's a good serve.
The ace will score for Ferranda, crossing the side wall. 3 points for Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda's got the serve.
Well, it wasn't overwhelmingly hard, but just crossed the sidewall, doing all the right things and able to trip up Manu. Not often you see that.
No, Manu has this uncanny ability to pull balls off the sidewall that seem next to impossible. Here's the backhand by Manu, powerfully thrown. Benny takes it in the air at the 13. Benny makes a save on the rebote to the inside. Here's Manu from the 11 line. Powerful backhand. Rebote. Forehand by Ferranda. Big bounce brought down by Manu. Good catch by Benny down low in the corner. Manu's there. Backhand from the 10. Rebote dropping. Saved on the forehand of Ikeda. Benny takes it on the bounce. At backhand. Clears the overhead screen. Comes out to the rebote at the 6th line. Turned on the forehand of Ikeda. Scoop attempt tipped in the backcourt. 4 points for Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda serves.
You know, another tough one. Drops between the Cyclones. Not a lot of communication, so Manu is back there scooping it up at about the 12 line on a ball that could have come out to be played on the rebote. But again, you know, Manu makes those difficult catches about as well as anybody on the roster. And if you don't talk, the backcourter's got to go for it.
Another fine serve by Ferranda. That's a beautiful catch by Manu, then by Benny. Here's the backhand. Benny from the 12 line to the inside. Ikeda, fine catch. Benny has this on the forehand. From the backcourt, trying to pass, cut off by Ikeda. Rebote, the rebound from the back wall, played on the forehand of Ferranda, and a tremendous catch by Manu. Ball's on the wall, Ferranda makes a save. Here's Ikeda stepping in at the 6th line. Scoop by Benny, backhand. 2-all caught in the air by Ikeda. Scoop by Benny with a hop. 2-all return, scoop by Ikeda. Benny, great catch at the 10 line. Over the top. Manu to the inside, powerfully, wall to wall from the backhand. Rebote forehand, 2 pass. Rebote forehand by Ikeda. Benny looks for the rebote, he makes the save. Big, big bounce, and what a tough catch that was by Manu. Ferranda on the backhand, he passes. Rebote for Ikeda on the wall. He makes the play. Benny stops it on the right side. Over the top. Passing the front corner. Manu on the rebote. Benny aggressively moves in. Big backhand follows. Ikeda saves the rebote. Scooped up by Ferranda. 2-all by Ferranda. Stopped by Ikeda. Ikeda will score on the return. A beautifully played point by all 4 players. No shutout here in the first set. Ikeda and Manu of the Cyclones are on the board with a point. Ikeda has the serve.
Yeah, they worked really hard for that one, and good to see
point.
it go up on the board in their favor. Might swing some momentum back to their side, but at the very least just gives them some energy, some confidence that they could hang with Ferranda and Benny throughout this match. I mean, Ikeda, I mean, it's always the defense has been there, just a little more offensively. See if they can get back in it.
Fault over serve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Here's a backhand by Benny. Big backhand by Manu. Passes wall to wall. Ferrand on the rebote. Caught by Ikeda. Ikeda low and hard. Scooped up by Ferrand. Beautiful catch on the left side. Benny's looking for the rebote. Little clip. Caught on the forehand of Ikeda. Benny down low. That goes off the tip. 2 points for Ikeda and Manu. Ikeda serves.
Finally got that Cortada to score. That one came a little deeper than he would have liked, but Benny kind of flat-footed. See how he sets up for it, and it just stays a little more to the inside than he would have expected. He's played that bounce numerous times, but tough break there. Gives the Cyclones 2 and the serve.
Benny on the backhand, low and hard to the inside. Manu scoops it up, sends it deep. Benny, great catch, deep in the backcourt. Here's Ikeda, backhand from the 7. Wall to wall from the left side. Rebote forehand by Ferrand. Rebote forehand by Ikeda. Here's Benny. Benny crossing the side wall. Manu, great catch. Rebote forehand for the bounce. Picked up by Manu in the backcourt. Benny on the backhand. Rebote forehand by Ferrand up the middle. Ikeda, eyes on the ball. Cortada stopped in the backcourt by Benny. Benny low and hard on the backhand. Ikeda sends this deep. Rebote coming out. Then he turns to save the rebote. That stays all the way inside. Good catch by Manu on the forehand. Ferrand reaching behind him. Tough catch. That ball's in play. Rebote coming out. Excellent catch by Ferrand at the side wall. Big backhand Rebote coming out. Rebote forehand by Ferrand. Caught in the air by Manu. Rebote saved by Benny. That hit is too high up on the front wall. That's a 3rd point for Ikeda and Manu of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Love how well this Cyclones team has stayed in this set. I mean, you go down 4-0. You know, some people may pack it in and say, hey, we got the next 2, we can come back and win it. But these guys think they can get back into this first set. I mean, really, you think about the points for the Devils early. Unforced errors, a couple of missed catches, ball on the overhead screen, and now Cyclones playing well. Nearly tied.
Difficult catch by Ferrand at the 7 line. Manu's there, deep in the backcourt. Benny on the catch. Backhand now from the 10 line. Difficult catch by Benny. Low on the backhand to the inside. Is Ikeda. Backhand by Ikeda. Rebote coming out. Rebote forehand. Rebote left side to the inside. Benny with a tip ball at the 10 line. 4-4 is the score. Ikeda has a serve.
And just like that, tie ball game here late in the first set. I mean, now the unforced errors from the Devils side. I mean, a couple from Benny. Ferrand has actually done a great job of catching up there in the front court, but they're testing Benny early on, and I mean, another one there. It's right on the wall, but a player of his caliber, he expects to bring it in.
Backhand by Benny. Ikeda with a drop ball mid-court. 5 points for Ferrand and Benny. Possible set point.
Wow. Tough way to lose a point after that great stretch. Ikeda just seemingly took his eye off it for a moment. He has a tendency to do that on the catch, but you also have to look it in. Make sure you have full control before you get the throw off. He didn't.
Fault under serve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. A good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Here's the backhand by Manu. Benny, what a catch at the side wall. Well played. Manu's there. Manu again. Benny, great catch. Hard backhand. Benny from the 12 line to the inside. Tough one. Dropping. Benny up high. Backhand down low. Robote. Saved by Ikeda. Lands in and scores. 5-5. Set point. Ikeda serves for the Cyclones.
Look, it's a tough play. The Devils don't know if that ball's going to stay in, first of all.
And it's going to be a tough catch for Benny to take that on the bounce.
Just got to turn and look for the rebote. And I don't know if that's where Ikeda wanted to throw it, but it escaped and ended up and acted like an outside placement. 5-5, this is it.
Here's the backhand by Benny, powerfully thrown, passing Manu. Rebote forehand. Caught in the air by Ferranda. Ferranda to the outside. Caught almost on the forehand of Manu. That ball is tip, point, and set. A hard-fought set, too. Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. 2 minutes go on the board. We'll come back out, play our next set. I mean, Manu, we know, is a machine on the left side. I mean, just absolutely a machine on the left side. Ball came quick to his forehand. Went right off the frame. You're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida. We are currently playing our first of 6 scheduled matches on the game day between the Devils and the Cyclones.
Yeah, just a little surprising there. I mean, given what we've seen from Manu over his career, that one coming right up the middle, straight to the right side, and just a miss. I mean, his left side is maybe the best on the roster, and and even this court kind of limits what he can do. You get there out on a bigger court, everything. I mean, it's just fantastic. The skill that he has, Manu, the catching ability, but not one of the better sets that we've really seen that team play this year, and still see just coming up a point short. And Manu missed a few balls, threw one in the overhead screen, and the last one right there in the middle of the court.
And they got on a pretty good run.
They did just that.
I mean, just got it to 5-5. That ball landed in perfect and then hit the metal frame on the back wall. Here we have a full view of the ESPN3 DraftKings players cage. Communication between Ferranda and Benny's been spot on. Again, Ferranda doing a phenomenal job in his final season before his retirement. Stepping up for Jairo, who's been out.
Well, Ferranda and Benny have won 3 of the last 4 in Division 3. See, a little tougher here against Ikeda and Manu. Ferranda's won 4 in a row with CRB in Division 5, and Ferranda won 4 singles matches in a row to close out his singles year. So he's been a great addition to this team, picking him up in Division 4. It's been a big reason why they've had so much success. Maybe not the last 2/3 of this year. It was a slow start for the Devils, as it was for the Fireballs, and you see both of those teams now, first and second place, all the way up at the top.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're ready to begin our second set. Ikeda will have the serve for the Cyclones.
Let's see if Ikeda and Manu can put another good set together right here and force a third one. Again, today's game day, the Cyclones, I mean, tie's not really going to help them all too much. They really need a win over this Devils team, and some tough matches coming up, too. They got to face Nicholas and Kubala, who are 7-2, Kubala and singles, who's 3-1, so pick up a win here early would help. See if they can get back in it.
Ikeda on the serve. Our second set has begun. Beautiful catch by Manu, coming hard off the side wall. Rebote. Forehand by Ferranda. Ikeda takes it in the air. Hard throw. Rebote left side by Benny. Dropping. Caught by Ikeda. Ikeda low and hard. Scooped up beautifully by Benny. And a backhand 2-all is read by Manu. He stops it. Setting up a difficult catch for Benny, crossing the wall and scoring. First point of the second set goes to Ikeda and Manu of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Ikeda got caught on that backhand 2-all, but not Manu. He moved well to the outside, made the catch, and able to kill it with a well-placed forehand. I mean, he gets there pretty easily. Manu, it never looks like he's moving too hard or exerting that much energy because his positioning's fantastic.
Fault over serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the forehand and the 7 line.
So if you get a good jump and you know where the ball is going to go, it doesn't, you don't have to run around and exert all that energy. Just move to the spot as Manu does gracefully and make the catch and throw.
That's court positioning. Difficult catch made by Kate at the 9 line. Benny on the return. Kate calls for it. That's at the side wall. Tough play. Floater midcourt. Stopped by Ferranda. Ferranda looking for that placement. Read and stopped by Manu. Benny takes this on the bounce at the 11 line. Returns it to the inside. Manu's there. Benny steps up to make the catch in the air. Here's Ikeda. On the wall, pulled off by Benny. Backhand by Ferranda did not clear the overhead screen. 2 points for Ikeda and Manu of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Well, you see Ferranda go for a lot of those difficult catches up in the front court. He loves to keep the ball in front of him. He picks a lot of serves, but the risk you run there is a lot of times you might not have control. Try to pass and you send it high up in the overhead screen and out of play.
Benny with a powerful backhand. Caught and returned by Manu. He goes wall to wall from the left side. Manu up high, backhand. Low to the inside. Benny gets in there. Makes the rebote play. Catch by Benny at the 11 line. Backhand. Little catch by Benny at the 13 line. Low backhand. Scooped up by Manu at the 12 line. Ferranda at the side wall. That's a nice catch. Ferranda again this time. He has a tip ball. 3 points for Ikeda and Manu of the Cyclones. Ikeda has the serve.
He kind of felt the momentum flip. I mean, Devils leading that first set 4-0. Cyclones are able to tie it at 4-4. And then 2 unforced errors gave the Devils the set. They've come out strong here to begin set 2. Great play, and Ferranda and Benny missing a few.
Powerful backhand by Benny. Passes. Rebote forehand. It's a good catch by Benny on the 10 line. Rebote forehand by Ferranda. Benny, great catch on the 13 line. Hard backhand on the wall. Ikeda's there. Benny from the 12 line. Backhand by Benny. Manu, powerful, powerful backhand. Caught by Benny. Beautiful catch at the 13. Ikeda, outside placement. Stopped by Ferranda. Portada by Ferranda. Thrown perfectly to score. That's a point for Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda has the serve.
Ikeda trying to change the pace here with an outside placement. It's just not far enough outside. The fake is pretty good. He sold it well, but you just got to make the defense go out there and get it a little closer to the net.
And Ferranda threw a darn near perfect cortada. I mean, that ball was spinning, hitting the sidewall. Here's a backhand by Manu. Rebote coming out. Rebote forehand. There's a catch by Ferranda. Big backhand by Benny. Rebote coming way out to the 4 line. Fired from the forehand of Ikeda. Benny stops it. Cortada will score. Beautifully executed by Benny. That's 2 points for Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda serves.
Look at what Benny sees. I mean, Ikeda has no chance to get to the Cortada, and Manu is all the way at the back glass. Simply throw it where the opponent is not. Force Manu to step up. I love how offensive Benny has been throughout this year, and another example right there with the Cortada cuts the deficit to just 1.
Fault, underserve. Beautiful catch by Manu off the side wall. Benny at the 13 line. Low backhand. Scooped up by Manu on the right side. Here's a catch by Benny. Forehand from the 9 line. Played to pass. Ikeda. Difficult rebote save. 4th point for Ikeda and Manu. Ikeda serves.
Well, the front court is getting a little close up there, and at least from my view,
there was a lot of traffic.
Yeah, it looked like maybe Fronton wanted interference, and at the last second, he stuck the cest up to try to make a catch.
It appears that he tipped it.
He was pointing to himself, to Benny, saying that one was on me, and if he would have stopped, probably would have gotten interference.
Hard throw by Benny, crossing the wall, scooped up by Manu. Benny on the catch, backhand, thrown powerfully, clearing. Rebote coming way out to the 3 line. Fired by Ikeda, scooped by Benny. Karen by Benny, caught in the air by Ikeda. That is a spot-on perfect catch by Ikeda, giving the Cyclones 5 points, possible set point.
And not often you see someone step in front of a carom at about the 3 line, but Ikeda's got no fear. I mean, you see how he plays up in the front. Doesn't matter how quick it's coming up on him. He'll stand in, he makes the catch, fires it low and hard, and it scores 5-2 with a chance to push this to a 3rd set.
Ball tipped. That is point and set for Ikeda and Manu. 2 minutes go on the board. We'll come back out and play our 3rd and final set.
Ikeda and Manu playing like the season is on the line, and you know this is a toss-up on tonight's game day. Fronton and Benny, Division III team. Devils have to use a sub here, so you know, the Cyclones can step out ahead with a 1-0 lead. They got Bueno in singles, who's been great. Inaki in singles, who's been solid. They got Inaki and Manu playing later, so it's setting up to be it's a pretty favorable schedule. But if they can win today, that would set up an opportunity to stay in the mix and potentially sneak into the playoffs. Didn't even think that was a possibility back a few weeks ago. After the draft, there was a lot of talk about the Cyclones, and at least on paper, how good they were. I mean, they picked up Inaki in round 2, Omega Reina in round 3. They got Ikeda back as a 4. Bueno last year as a 5 was the best 5. For some reason, just hasn't quite worked out this year. Is it the doubles teams? I mean, you know, performance, maybe a combination of the both. Not exactly sure, but still, in spite of everything that's happened and how poorly they've played, the Cyclones still with an opportunity today to win and, you know, keep their season alive, and that's all you could really ask for. Ikeda and Manu, in particular, just 1-7 this regular season. Throw it out the window. Doesn't matter. You got to win one match in front of you right now, and you can pick up that point in the game day, keep the season alive, and you never know what could happen the next few game days. Got to say, Ikeda really picked it up there in the 2nd set. Manu is, I mean, the leader of the team back there. He brings it pretty much every day. But, you know, Ikeda is really the X factor. If he can win that matchup against Fronton in the front, no reason they can't win the match. And every time they step out there with Manu, they feel like they have an advantage in the backcourt, but they just need the complementary play up front. See if they can do it here. Clock, all zeros. Let's begin this 3rd and decisive set.
We're ready to begin our 3rd and final set. Battle court scoring. First team to reach 6 points will win the match. Fronton has the serve for the Devils.
Ikeda's defense has been great, and he's kind of been everywhere, but if you're the Devils, you can't be deterred. You still have to throw some shots. And Fronton, it didn't really seem like he did anything in that 2nd set, just keeping the ball inside, just kind of going through the motions, and you can't do that in a matchup like this. Devils ready to go. Cyclones seem to be ready. Ikeda's tying in. We'll begin this 3rd set.
Fronton serves, we begin. Here's a backhand by Manu. Benny, difficult catch. There's the throw. Rebote forehand. Ikeda on the backhand. One-handed grab by Ferranda. Here's Manu from the 11 line. Backhand. Benny goes to the corner. Comes out on the 13 line with a nice throw. Ikeda is there. Ikeda straight back. Rebote coming out. A rebound off the back wall played by Ferranda. Picked up on the bounce by Manu. Catch by Ferranda at the 7 line. Manu maneuvering around Benny to make a great catch. Here's Benny on the catch at the side wall. Big backhand, clears the overhead screen. Rotate forehand by Ikeda. Caught by Benny. Beautiful catch again. Ikeda backing up, somehow holds on to that. Ikeda again. Backhand from the 8. Ferranda reaches in to make that save on the rebote. Big bounce to the backcourt. Manu is there. Manu looking across the wall. Benny, eyes on the rebote. Inside. Big bounce. Brought down by Manu. Benny calls for it. Grabs it on the forehand. Rebote forehand by Ferranda. Stopped by Ikeda. Ferranda, backhand. On the wall, stopped by Manu. Ikeda attacks. Powerful forehand. Scoop by Benny. Cortada by Benny will score.
What a shot.
First point of the decisive third set goes to Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda serves. Benny's Cortada again. Backwarders throwing Cortadas a little bit on the dangerous side, but the inside's been open. Benny's done it both safely and accurately.
Yeah, that one a little bit safer too with Ikeda more out of the play. But similar to how he caught Manu out of position in what was the second set. He was way back, almost to the back wall. So throw it where they're not, just got the second bounce.
Fault over serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the forehand 7 line. Beautiful catch by Manu off the wall. Big backhand follows. Rebote forehand. Ferranda focuses on the ball. Cortada stopped by Ikeda. Tough catch on the left side. Benny makes this catch in the air, brings it over the top. Ikeda down low. Benny, beautiful catch. Big backhand. Ferranda gets in there. Here's the backhand at the 7. Benny down low. Backhand from the 12 to the forehand of Ikeda. Ikeda with that mid-wall placement. Benny up on the left side with a great catch. Backhand by Manu. Rebote forehand. Wall to wall. Ikeda, rebote save. Benny, perfect positioning at the 9 line. Low, hard backhand. Perfectly thrown by Benny to score. 2 points for Ferranda and Benny of the Devils. Ferranda serves.
It's a low bullet right on the wall.
There's no question that Benny changed that up.
Yeah. Well, got Manu to step up. I mean, a little off his footing. It's close to the sidewall, maybe not on it, but still uncomfortable with the catch.
No, basically throwing it, that same concept of throwing it at your opponent's feet, just doing it from the left side.
Yeah.
Manu on the catch. The big backhand follows. Rebote, forehand. Ikeda sets up for the rebote. That gets back pretty far, and Benny's there. Low backhand again. Ikeda makes the save. Ferranda on the catch, winds up. Costi inside, Manu is there. Catch by Benny, backhand from the 12. Manu now from the 11. Right over the head of Ferranda, but a great catch by Ferranda. Here's Manu from the 11 again. Benny sets up, backhand. To the inside, at the wall, Manu is there. What a catch by Benny, pulling that off the side wall at the 13. Here's Manu on the backhand. Low runner, scooped up by Manu. Ikeda in the air. Benny's looking for the rebote. He makes the save, keeps it inside. Manu is there. Big backhand by Manu. What a catch by Benny. Low backhand again. Manu's there again. Benny pulls it off the side wall. Ferranda, forehand rebote. Ikeda takes it in the air at the 8 line. Sends it back. Benny steps up. Backhand. Powerfully thrown. Caught beautifully by Ikeda. Rebote forehand. Wonky bounce coming off the side wall. Manu comes over the top. Benny advances. Grabs it. Cortada. This one higher. Stopped by Manu. Rebote forehand by Ferranda. Caught in the air by Manu. Manu. Low hard bullet of a backhand is scooped up by Benny. Ikeda on the forehand. Benny on the catch. Backhand. Wall to wall rebote coming out. Backhand 2-wall by Ferranda. Third point for the Devils. The Guillermina scoring for Ferranda.
From up at the front court, no less, too.
Benny hasn't thrown one.
No, Benny hasn't thrown it. I mean...
And Ferranda did.
You could have taken that bet to the bank. Benny to throw the first backhand 2-wall here.
If someone would have asked me at the beginning of the season, is this going to happen? Never. Never.
Wow.
There it is.
Love that shot. Total change of pace. Oh, and the serve stays inside.
The ace will score. 4 points for Ferranda and Benny.
Well, look. The Cyclones are able to dig themselves out of a 4-0 hole in the first set. So, I mean, not easy, but they're going to have to do it again.
I'm more than capable of doing it. No question about that. With Manu in the back and Ikeda's catching spot on the front. Powerful serve. Caught by Manu. Here's the backhand. Benny from the 11 line. Hard throw. Passing. Rebote. Played beautifully by Ikeda. Benny on the catch. Big backhand again. Rebote for Ikeda again. Benny grabs that on the forehand, goes for the cortada, hits the pad this time. There'll be no shutout. That's the first point for the Cyclones in the third and decisive set. Ikeda serves.
Look, just certainly trying to take a lot off of it there. Was already crouching down. The arm angle was low, and he dropped that into the lower part of the pad. Okay, just got to reset after a mistake like that. It just comes down to execution, and Benny is going to hit that shot 9 times out of 10, maybe even more.
Ferranda picks the serve, looking for that placement.
Oh, it got it.
That lands in and scores perfectly. 5 points, possible match point for the Devils.
It's so dangerous when a front quarter that has the ability to throw a good drop shot picks the serve, because that opens up the 3-wall or the high carambola to the outside. You see Manu here in the camera. He makes that catch. His first move is up. He's expecting the drop shot, and when he kicks it off the side wall, he can't recover. Ikeda's all alone, and there's no rebote there.
Ikeda picks the serve. He goes through the 3-wall play. Rebote.
Not enough.
Ferranda, 2-wall, stopped by Ikeda. Beautiful throw by Ikeda, crossing the sidewall and scoring 2 points for Ikeda and Manu. Ikeda has the serve for the Cyclones.
They'll extend the match here. Benny directing some traffic. Ferranda knows where to go. Tough catch by Ikeda, though. Looked like he wanted to juggle it. He did not.
You see Ferranda apologizing to Benny, tapping his chest, saying, I basically set that up. I needed to throw that, I needed to kill that. Fault over serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Here's a backhand by Benny. Manu on the rebote. Benny has this on the right side. Powerfully thrown. Ikeda for the rebote. Inside it goes. So does Benny. That took a big hop. Benny got in there, makes a tremendous save. Big right side by Manu. Caught in the air by Benny. Here's the backhand. Ikeda's on it. Benny on the forehand. Here's the backhand by Benny to the inside. Ikeda with the rebote.
That's out.
That is out. Point, set, and match for Ferranda and Benny. Winning it in the third set, 6-2.
Oh, Ferranda and Benny playing a rank up. Cyclones needing the win, but the Devils snatch it up to begin the game day. First point going their way, courtesy of Ferranda and Benny. Move over to singles after this. Kubala and Bueno will go at it. Then Benny against Inaki in that order.
As soon as that highlight ball leaves the cesta, you can't blink because every second is packed with action. Keep up with the world's fastest ball sport all game day long with bets on the matches, the sets, and each individual point. Find your favorite team or player and get in on the action with DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the World Jai-Alai League. The crown is yours.
We'll take a look at that game day score now, reflecting that win by Ferranda and Benny. Ferranda subbing for Jairo officially in that Division II doubles match. Wouldn't know it though, Devils come away with the win. You see that bottom row of standings there where all 6 of our teams stack up coming into today. Devils 2 wins away from securing their spot in the playoffs. Ferranda and Benny joining us now. Congratulations, guys, on that win. Even though you played a rank up, how much confidence did you have coming into this matchup?
Yeah, I mean, we feel pretty confident playing together. And our strategy in that match was to keep it away from Manu as much as possible. So that's why we were throwing a lot of cortadas and the low runners. And, you know, we all have to step up because Jairo's out. So, you know, that's what we're doing so far.
Awesome, guys. Keep up the great work. Another win to start off the day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Move over to singles here. Division 5 matchup will feature 2 of the best players in this division. That'll be Kubala with a record of 3-1, taking on Bueno, also at 3-1 this year. 5th and final singles match for both players. And really more pressure on Bueno here for the Cyclones after dropping that first match. Really can't go down 0-2 on a game day that you need to win. That put a lot of pressure on the final 4 matches. See if Bueno can deliver here. Kubala will begin with the serve.
It's not that hard.
We are ready to begin match 2. Kubala will serve to Bueno. There's a serve. We begin. By Kubala. Oh, with a soft touch. That's going to get the second bounce to score Kubala. First point of our second match.
We've been seeing a bit more of that, just enough to get it from the side wall to the front wall and land in. Not only is the opposing player moving to the outside, but he's moving up on it quickly, or attempting to move up on it quickly. Tough catch.
Serve crosses the wall. Bueno takes it on the left side. Kubala steps back, controls it in the air. Backhand clears the overhead screen. Bueno on the rebote, plays it inside. Here's Kubala now. Sends it back from the 7 into the corner. Bueno saves the rebote. Kubala all the way in the backcourt. It's a 2-wall rebote. It opens. Not enough. Bueno from the outside. The carom will score. And Bueno ties it 1-1.
Court positioning by both Kubala and Bueno is solid. Both players started here in 2019. Good court awareness. By court positioning, we're talking about their ability to move to the ball when they have to catch it. Kubala especially, sometimes it doesn't seem like he's going to get there, and then bam, he's there.
Kubala forehand crossing the wall. Bueno backs up, makes the catch on the left side. With this one died in the air, Kubala stepped up, made the catch, but right back to Bueno. He goes deep from the left side. Rebote. Lead up by Kubala. Bueno steps in front of it. Forehand. Low and hard. Crossing the wall. Scoop by Kubala. Oh, big Magic City bounce. It's going to open and score for Kubala. 2 points. He'll serve.
Yeah, it's equally unfair for every player in battle court and every team. Those ridges in the side wall, it just smacks into one of them and turns.
Under serve. Second serve for Kubala.
Don't often see Kubala going for a cortada serve,
No.
but that was well short.
Oh, second serve is good. Bueno just got up to it as across the wall. Kubala has to dig out the rebote. He does. Back inside. Bueno from the 7. Low enough to pass. Doesn't feed the rebote. 2-wall return. Oh, my. That'll score. What a shot there from the backcourt. Kubala makes it 3-1.
Kubala's had some success. Don't know that he meant to touch the front wall quite that lightly,
Yeah.
but he was just trying to get it. He was just trying to get that 2-wall in there, and he did, but wound up now 2 times throwing kind of like 2 shots in one. A Dejada carom and a Dejada costado 2-wall.
It shows you, how effective it really is. I mean, players always go to the outside. They don't really move up on the ball when defending those 2 walls, but soft touch, that's the difference. Serve crossing, back at the 12 line. Bueno sends it back along the wall. Kubala gets there. Here's Bueno in the middle of the court from the 9 line. Rebote, saved by Kubala. Tough scoop. Bueno made it high on the left side. Ball 2-wall again. Kubala digs out another rebote along the wall. Bueno picks it. Catch by Kubala back there at the 10 line. Bueno backs up, stops it on the right side. Outside placement is outside of play. 4-1 lead for Kubala of the Devils.
Falling with Kubala, always dangerous. He'll make those catches, throw the ball oftentimes where he'll have a difficult time getting to it as his opponent, which was the case there with Bueno. Bueno had the unforced error of the outside placement attempt. Try to catch him, but sent it out of play.
Bueno gets up to that serve. Backhand inside. Leaping grab by Kubala. Backhand's going to clear. Rebote. Bueno saves it on a knee. Kubala steps in front of him. He's got it on the bounce. Forehand, low and hard. Crossing the wall. Bueno. The carom goes back over the top. There's Kubala running under it. Rebote, 4hands up in the overhead screen and out of play. 5 points, possible set point for Kubala.
Kubala's done a great job of maintaining his composure again. Court positioning has been excellent.
Bueno low and hard along the wall. Kubala gonna let that one pass. He lays it up high on the back end. Kubala, Bueno backing up, and he missed it. Point and set. Kubala takes it 6-1. 2 minutes. Come back and play set 2.
And you're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida. We are currently playing our second of 6 scheduled matches on the game day. A singles match between Kubala representing the Devils and Bueno representing the Cyclones. Here we are on the break between our first and second set. Some replays from that first set. Beautiful save here by Kubala. Big bounce to the inside. Bueno with a good catch, sends it deep. Kubala's on it. A 2-wall that just dies coming off the front wall. Lands in and scores. Bueno was in position. Just bounced twice in front of him. Here we are back in the ESPN3 DraftKings Players Cage. Players taking their breaks back here in between sets and to prepare for matches. See number 25, Kubala there, with Fronda standing next to him. Court positioning has been spot on. Here we are on the other side of the player's cage. See Bueno tying into his cesta, getting some feedback from team captain Inaki. Actually, who is the king? It's Manu?
To Manu.
Manu,
yes.
Sorry. I gave Inaki a promotion.
Director of Fun, Inaki. Yeah.
Director of Fun, that's right. He'll no doubt be hitting me up for a... Exactly. Since you gave me a promotion.
Comes with a...
that comes with a sizable raise, yes?
Inaki coming out next in singles, but, you know, Cyclones really on the ropes here. You know, if Bueno loses this, they would need to win the next 4 matches and win the game day to extend their playoff hopes into the next game day. Kubala, though, tremendous play. What more can you say? After he lost that singles match to Cabrera, I mean, he told us, he's like, I had to change my strategy. I mean, since that point, he's been unbeaten in singles. He's looked great. Great combination of offense, and then the defense is always there. Set 2, ready to begin. Bueno will serve. There's a serve. We begin our second set with an over serve. First fault, second serve for Bueno. What a stop by Kubala before across the wall. Backhand clears. Bueno sets up for the rebote. Plays it up the middle. Here's Kubala. That takes him to the outside. Bueno, rebote, back up the middle. Catch low by Kubala. He whips it up the middle. Off by Bueno. Bueno, oh, that clipped a bit. Kubala crouching down, could not make the catch. Bueno, begin set 2 with our first point.
See both Kubala and Bueno locked into these catches. I mean, just focused on making the catch, which of course key.
Yeah, just a little clip off the side wall. Yeah. Here's Kubala up at the 10 line, backhand. Not out of reach of Bueno. He steps back to secure it. Rebote, 2-all with a big bounce. Bueno gonna stop it on the outside, keeps it low and hard. Scoop by Kubala. Bueno, clean miss in the air. Rebote.
Oh, too much.
The overhead screen and out of play, 1-1. Kubala's tied it up.
Inaki basically telling Bueno just to calm down just a little bit. The ball got past you, but you had a shot on the rebote. Yeah. Just don't swing at it, you know. Get it in the cesta, make the rebote, because Bueno is more than capable of making these plays. Just want to see it get away from him. No one does, but Just maintain your composure. Reset for the next play.
Bueno back beyond the 12 line. Backhand clips Kubala. Leaping catch back behind him. Comes over to the top. Bueno waits on the floater. Back to 12. Sends it back inside. Here's Robote. Just above the pad. Bueno's got it in the middle of the court. Opens for the 2-wall.
Beautiful.
And it scores. 2-1 lead for Bueno.
Again, Bueno having difficulty in this season with the shots that we saw last year. I mean, last season, he had such a phenomenal season overall. Shots landing on both sides. It'd be good to see him get back to that in his final singles match of the season.
Kubala gets there before it crosses. Backhand floated up. Past Bueno. He saves the rebote. It's on the wall. It's dropping. Kubala dug it out, but it comes up short. 3 points for Bueno.
Kubala did a great job of getting that ball into his cesta, but that's a long way from the 13 line to the front wall.
Here's the backhand. Right into the corner. Not a lot on the rebote. Bueno sweeps it off the ground. Kubala from the inside. Forehand. Got off by Bueno. Sends it back. Rebote forehand. That just cleared. Bueno cuts it off. Sends it back to him.
Right to the corner.
Cross rebote dropping. Bueno up a little further at the 6 line. The 2-wall is thrown to score. Make it 4-1. Bueno leads.
Again, if Bueno is able to control the pace of play. Do we get any points deducted when we screw up our announcing?
Not that I've heard of.
Okay.
I'll check my next, the next check. It's been a rough week.
If Bueno's able to reestablish pace of play here, he's got a shot at coming back in this set.
Good stop overhead by Bueno. Backhand to the inside. Pass Kubala, but he saves the rebote. Oh, this is a tough catch. Bueno made it up in the front court. Nice
It was a
play.
really tough catch.
Oh, wonky rebote. Dug out by Kubala along the wall. Bueno, good range. He got back in there. Kubala now from the 11. We're going to keep that one in front of him. Back to the inside. Kubala now. High and deep. Bueno going to stay up there looking for the rebote. Pushed it outside. Here's Kubala with the forehand.
Tough one.
Crosses the wall. It's
What a
scooped again
scoop.
by Bueno. Great catching here at this point. Forehand, carom rebote attempt, not enough. Bueno's carom.
Got him.
Score. 5 points, possible set point for Bueno of the Cyclones.
Sometimes it's just a question of refocusing, and Bueno clearly refocused in this second set. Catching is spot on, court positioning better than in the first one. Landed a couple good shots as well. Kubala still doing a good job. He's moving to the ball well. So far in this second set, he's just been outplayed.
Kubala from the 11 line. Floats it. Not past Bueno, though. He makes the catch in the air. Rebote left side. Diving save. Bueno able to get there. Up at the 8. Back in. Wall to wall again. Kubala, another rebote. Floats it high off the front wall. Bueno going to attack. He controls it. Sends it inside. There's Kubala. Bueno with a long run now. Gets out to save the rebote. Kubala in the middle of the court. Opens up for the carom with a soft touch again. He got him. 2 points for Kubala. That'll extend the set here.
No question that Kubala has turned that into a thing. The soft touch on the 2-all, just enough. He sees, well, Bueno's back here at the 9 line, so that's a long run. Again, long run to the outside, too. The carom doesn't have to be thrown particularly well. Kubala's had some real success with that shot. Working for him.
Good stop back there in the corner by Bueno. Clears the screen. Kubala looking for the rebote. Pushes it back up the middle. Bueno, forehand, low hand, hard scoop by Kubala. Oh, what a stop there by Bueno now up in the front. Able to pass again. Kubala, another rebote. Goes down to a knee, makes the save. Bueno, inside placement from the Costado.
Tipped.
Will score. We're going to a third set coming up in just 2 minutes. Bueno takes it 6-2. So there's the response by Bueno, setting up a third and decisive set. First 2 matches going to a third set today. Been a lot of leadership and a lot of talking to Bueno throughout that match, and Inaki certainly know what's at stake. Bueno played like it there in set 2, right along the wall. And just tipped by Kubala. You know, Stu was mentioning how well Bueno played last year. This season, it's a slow start for him. Now that he's thrown a couple more shots, you see how it opened up the inside placement to score in singles. I mean, there used to be a time in Bueno's career where you would give him the 2-wall and you would protect the inside. Now, I mean, you can't really say that. Even the way he threw it in that first set. And now as this ball is starting to heat up, I mean, maybe guess that plays into Bueno's hand a little bit more. I mean, always out there. He's physical, always running. He's in great shape. So if you get into these longer points, these longer rallies, the ball starts to travel a little further. I mean, that probably should help Bueno out a little bit more than Kubala, but, when you catch as well as Kubala and read the ball as well as he does, you don't need to be that physical specimen that's everywhere and moves at 1,000 miles per hour. He just plays his game and just plays it well. You see on the Devils side of the cage, there's Fronton.
Some intense feedback there for Kubala, huh?
Both teams. You like to see that, talking with their 5th division players. Both teams, I mean, they just know what's on the line here. I mean, a win here by Kubala would almost virtually guarantee the Devils a spot in the playoffs. I mean, they still have 2 game days left after tonight, so still with a good opportunity. But the sooner you can clinch and don't have to worry about it, the better. See what they got here in a third set. Kubala making his way back out there. Bueno already out there. Kubala will serve to begin set 3.
I am in complete agreement that Inaki is director of fun, but I think that's for the entire program. I think that's for all across all battle court teams.
Sure.
Absolutely. He's got a pretty mean costado, too.
See it next. Third set will decide this match. Kubala serves to Bueno.
I had to work here many years before I was willing to accept a director of fun in highlights. As Andrew can tell anybody. Why is everyone smiling?
Year 3, year 4, maybe?
About 10 minutes ago, actually.
Kubala serves. Our third set is underway. Bueno with the backhand. Ooh, Kubala committed. Leaping grab, but he did juggle it. First point goes to Bueno of the Cyclones.
Yeah, and playing singles, you have the whole court to cover. And backquarters especially sometimes have a tendency to play deep.
Catch by Kubala. Holds the backhand in the corner. Bueno, knee saves the rebote. It's dropping. Kubala picks it in the air at the 9, sends it back. Just out of reach of Bueno. 2-wall is low. 1-1. Kubala ties it.
Bueno knows that he needs more of an extension on that if he's going to throw a 2-wall, especially from back there. Seem to more slap at it. Not that it was an easy rebote to begin with, but turned into a rebote kill shot.
Bueno stops it back in the corner. Floats it along the wall for Kubala. Forehand rebote from the outside. Kubala with a high scoop. Here's the backhand. Bueno, it's right at Kubala's feet. He makes a leaping catch to scoop it up. Bueno missed that rebote, set up at about the 9, swing and a miss. That's 2 now for Kubala. He leads in this third set.
Beautiful scoop by Kubala. Defensive play, but you need to make it, and he was all over that ball. Just beautifully done.
Bueno handles the serve, puts it on the wall, it scores. Quick point, Bueno ties it 2-2.
Bueno did a good job. That was a beautiful throw by any standard on the sidewall the whole way and powerfully done. Good catch off the sidewall. Just keeping it inside. Very well done.
Kubala sent up in the middle of the court, opens up with the backhand. Bueno takes off. Rebote played up the middle. Kubala looking for it again. Diving save. Ooh, that caught the corner. Bueno stays outside. Forehand. Looking to pass. He does, but Kubala has a play and he saves the rebote. Another one. Lower and harder. This one not playable. It scores. 3-2 lead for Bueno.
Safer than potentially the 2-all. He had a little difficulty with the pad before. He also did throw a good carom. But in this case, just pass him low to the inside. The one thing you don't want to do is feed the rebote. Bueno knows that. No rebote coming off of that ball.
Step up at the 10 line, backhand. Rebote forehand at Kubala's feet. The scoop missed. Bueno opens up the lead to 2, 4-2. He'll serve.
Dangerous lead. Bueno needs to keep his foot on the gas and finish off this set. Kubala is more than capable of coming back and winning it.
Another one right here. I mean, you see, was moving up on it, just couldn't get there in the air. Kubala sends it high and deep. Rebote forehand played inside. Kubala gets there before and crosses the wall. Sends it back. Bueno saves another rebote. Here's Kubala on the catch. Hard backhand a pass. Bueno takes off, looking for it on the inside. Makes a good save.
Great catch.
There's Kubala back at the 10. Passing again. Unless on that rebote, Bueno saves it. Tough bounce. It'll score. Got by Kubala frontways, and the rebote missed. 5 points for Bueno. Possible set and a possible match point.
I hate
See,
to
got him backing up.
Yeah, just tough.
And a couple times in this third set. I mean, the first throw, he was ranging back, and it was out of reach. Ball hard, throw it, open things up. Rebote forehand, Kubala committed. He goes up and missed the scoop. Point, set, and match. Bueno takes it in the third set, winning the final 2, 6-2, 6-2. Statement win there for Bueno, coming back, winning the final 2 sets, and now tying up this game day 1-1. We'll keep it in singles here, move up to Division 2. Bueno and Inaki step out for this next match coming up in about 2 minutes. Game day score. reflecting that win by Bueno of the Cyclones. 4-1, finishing up his singles season. See the practice out there right now. That is Inaki and Benny. And we will hear from Bueno in just a few moments, too. I mean, you love the response from Bueno, and then you think about what's on the line. It's one of the more impressive wins we've seen this season in Battle Court. Coming back, winning those final 2 sets. Game day now 1-1. Heading into this match where they got Inaki coming up in singles, who dropped down from Division 1 last year. Should be a good opportunity. Let's hear from our winner, Bueno. Tying up the game day, 1-1. Bueno, slow start in the first set, 6-1, but we saw your team captain, Inaki and Manu, both very heavily engaged. What were they saying to get you back into the match and ultimately get the win?
Nothing, man. They were just kind of just reinforcing what I already know. You know, they just told me, hey, man, keep your head on your shoulders, play good. Every time that I would come over here, it made it look like they were giving me some strategy or nothing. They just kept telling me, breathe, take your time, breathe, take your time, breathe. So pretty much, you know, doesn't change the approach. You know, we want to come out and win. Came out and played aggressive. Luckily, I was able to get the win. Kubala's a hell of an opponent, man. Every time I go out there with him, man, definitely, he gives my my cardio a test. You know, it gives me a run for my money, man. So appreciate the competitive spirit, and we got a long way to go as a team. So let's keep the party going, huh?
Yeah, that win will certainly help, Bueno. Congratulations on a nice singles season, finishing at 4-1. We'll see what happens the rest of the way. Thank you.
Thank you.
Inaki and Benny going at it here in Division 2 singles. Benny in his first year in this group, just 1-3. Inaki, his first season in Division 2 as well. He's 2-2. Benny will have the serve to begin match number 3, starting now.
We're ready to begin our third match of the game day. Benny has the serve for the Devils. Benny serves, we begin. Backhand by Inaki. Rebote. By Benny to the inside. Inaki's there. 2-all by Benny. Inaki gets out there, stops it, gets that off in time. Benny on the catch. Costado inside. Scoop by Inaki. Benny now from the 8 line. Drop shot to the inside. Inaki's got assessed on it. Vilo gets by Benny and scores. A well-played point by both Benny and Inaki. Inaki first up on the board here in our third match.
Not a poor drop shot attempt by any stretch for Benny there. Inaki was, I mean, just had a little bit of a head start, and he got a good read on it, too. I mean, take a look at where he is. I mean, he was back at about the 8 line when Benny threw it, got up there. And then the Filo, Costado straight to the outside. That's been Inaki's go-to shot throughout this Winter 25 season, particularly in doubles, but still effective in singles to get him the first point.
Here's the backhand by Benny. Inaki's there. Backhand from the 9 line. To the inside, Benny from the 12 line. Rebote, that rebound off the back wall, played off the forehand of Benny. Benny moving around the ball, try to scoop it. Catch down low. 2 points for Inaki of the Cyclones. He serves.
It's almost like trying to fit a square peg into a round hole. That ball's cutting inside, and he's trying to run around it and scoop it on the right side. It's just very difficult to get it lined up, and it has to be just perfect, really, and the timing and everything, and it wasn't on that one.
If you can reach out with the backhand and just grab it.
Yeah.
Player's prerogative. There's no rule that says all you have to do is catch it, no matter how you catch it. Here's the backhand by Benny to the inside. Inaki pulls it off the side wall. Rebote forehand up the middle. Caught by Inaki. Inaki goes deep. Benny to the outside, caught the pad. 3 points for Inaki of the Cyclones.
Yeah, Benny just hooked that one a little bit. Set up in the middle of the court. Looked like he wanted the outside placement attempt, but if you hook it, you'll send it low, and that one catching the lower part of the pad.
That serve lands in and scores. A 4th point for Inaki and the Cyclones. He serves.
Well, that serve just dropped off the side wall. Benny's starting pretty deep, but let's take another look. Maybe died off the front wall. Sometimes you have to listen as much as watch out for these throws. Sometimes if you hear kind of a duff, you got to move up because that ball is just going to float. And I'm guessing that's what happened there. You don't see Benny tripped up like that all too often.
Here's a backhand by Benny. Inaki's there. Inaki to pass. Forehand, a rebote to the inside. Inaki's looking for the rebote. Low and inside. Benny reads it, stops it. 2-all. Stopped by Inaki. Inaki plays this high. Benny's going to catch it. Throw it inside, and what a scoop by Inaki. The 2-all attempt hits the pad. Great play by both Benny and Inaki. Benny's on the board with a point and the serve. That's aggressive play by both of them, I'll tell you.
Inaki's saying just anywhere but there where he threw that high carambola. I mean, Benny
Once he made that catch,
caught it at
the whole court was his.
Yeah, caught it at the 9 line on the outside. Inaki could have gone with a drop shot, a carom, low and hard. Any of them would have worked, but Benny reads that high carambola well. He got out to it and won the point.
Fault over serve. Battle court rules allow for a second serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. There's the backhand by Inaki. Rotate forehand by Benny. Clears the overhead screen and passes. Scoop high on the left side of Benny. Difficult play to make. That is a 5th point for Inaki of the Cyclones. Possible set point.
Yeah, you said it's too. Just a really difficult catch, kicking up right in front of his face pretty much. It's so hard to control those. And you see in the end, Benny had it for about a second and then popped out very late. 5-1, Inaki looking for this first set.
Here's a backhand by Benny. Rebote. Rebote 2-all opens.
Oh, he got it.
Beautifully executed by Benny to score. 2 points for Benny and the Devils. He serves.
It's perfect execution. That one really opened up. Inaki's been up in front of Benny most of these points. I mean, comfortable as a front quarter playing up on the front half of the court, but look at where he is. Kind of waiting for Benny to lay something up. Nope, he turns it into a shot. Got him out of position. Well done.
Here's a backhand by Inaki from the 8 line. Benny's there. Benny from the 10. Tough scoop by Benny. Light touch. Inaki's on it. Hard throw. It scores. Point and set for Inaki of the Cyclones. Put 2 minutes on the board, come back out, play our next set. That was kind of a complicated point.
Yeah, and it looked like Benny got kind of caught between a few throws there, too, at the end. You know, don't know whether to go outside, goes with the drop shot, but then he goes with a hybrid, which is like a soft middle court placement, and Inaki knows what to do with it. 6-2. Inaki wins that first set. Take a look at some of these replays. Yeah, I mean, that's the throw. It's like, you know, either go with the outside or go with the drop shot, but to get caught between doesn't do you really any good either.
Inaki doing an exceptional job throughout that first set of reading Benny.
Yeah.
Benny got him on that one costado, too, that was really thrown well. I think Manu encouraging Inaki to go with a bit more aggressive play.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you lose a match that you really should win. I mean, we see players all the time. They're like, well, I have an advantage. I'm just going to rally. I'm going to catch one more ball, play to the inside, just do the basics. Well, eventually, you can get a Magic City bounce. Your opponent can throw something, you know, a miscatch here and there. And next thing you know, you're down a few points. So I love that for Manu. Tell him, hey, you're a shot maker. Do your thing. You know, don't change your style because of who you're playing against. And, you know, we talked to Gaucheri. He's pretty consistent. What he says, I play the same way all the time. Doesn't matter. And a lot of guys have echoed the same sentiment. So, love
Safety
the strategy.
off.
Yeah.
Safety off.
Yeah.
Yeah, the shot's coming. You're not sure when, but you know the shot's coming.
And for Benny, too, I mean, it's just kind of the same thing. Just, you know, commit more to these shots. There was a time, I mean, now it may be, what, 3-4 years ago, where Benny was really a threat with the costado. I mean, he would throw it. Now, you know, it doesn't look great. He doesn't look confident. He doesn't throw it particularly well. He throws it probably better, honestly, off the rebote than he does catching it in the air.
And meanwhile, his backhand has developed into something of its own weapon.
Absolutely.
So it's not like everything gets perfected at once.
Right.
He's perfecting the backhand as a backcourter. And as a backcourter, he's going to throw fewer shots.
Right, and that does make sense, you know, as you said.
Ready to begin our second set. Benny has a serve. Benny serves. We begin. Backhand by Iñaki. Iñaki, beautiful catch at the side wall. Benny on the forehand. Iñaki pulls one off the side wall at the 10 line. Benny lets it pass. Rebote, left side, looking to get that big bounce. Iñaki cuts it off in the air. Benny, great catch at the 9. Rebote left side, 2-all, opens wide. Benny stops it on the forehand. Drop shot.
Ooh,
Iñaki got there. Hard throw on the return to score. First point of the second set for Iñaki of the Cyclones. He serves.
Really good reaction by Iñaki, huh?
Benny just a little hesitant, telegraphing what he was doing here, and it was a bit high. Iñaki had time. I mean, he caught that ball. That ball was still in the air about waist, not waist, but thighs.
Benny got the contact with the side wall that we always stress when throwing the drop shots, but he did elevate it a little too much. The throw had a lot of distance on it, and Iñaki just got in there before the second bounce.
That's a big backhand by Benny. Rebote forehand by Iñaki. Iñaki from the 8 line keeps it inside. Rebote forehand. Iñaki on the bounce. Backhand from the 8. That ball clipped up and hit the overhead screen, which is out of play. 2 points for Iñaki of the Cyclones. He serves.
Well, Inaki's ready and waiting to attack with some sort of shot. Benny recognizes that, so he tries to pass him, throw it over his head, and what do you know, catches just a piece of that overhead screen. Even without throwing a shot there, Inaki's positioning set up like he was going to throw one, forced Benny to push it up a little bit higher than he wanted, and ultimately out of play.
Here's the backhand by Benny, powerfully thrown to the inside. Iñaki from the 9 line. Rebote forehand by Iñaki. Caught in the air by Benny. Benny from the forehand. Lower and harder and scooped by Iñaki. Rebote, that rebound off the back wall. Rebote forehand saved by Benny. This ball's in the middle of the court. Iñaki's got it. Inside placement scores. 3 points for Iñaki of the Cyclones. He serves.
Inaki's doing all this really without throwing any shots. I mean, again, this costado here is one of the first times he's gotten it up on the costado. chooses the inside placement. Benny respects the 2-all. He goes outside.
Here's a catch by Benny, forehand, right up the middle, caught by Iñaki. Iñaki powerful from the right side. Carom by Iñaki will land in and score. 4 points for Iñaki. He serves.
Threw that one beautifully. He took a look, saw where Benny was standing, then opened up to throw the carom, and even with all that, Benny was still not particularly close to it. You see when he opens up there, Benny takes off, but just a little too late.
Here's Benny on the backhand. He passes. Robote, forehand by Iñaki. 2-pass. Robote forehand by Benny to the inside, and Iñaki has it at the 9-line. Robote by Benny. It's a 2-all. Does not open. Stopped by Iñaki. Iñaki, Costello 2-all. That's out.
Wow.
There'll be no shutout in the second set. Benny has a serve for the Devils.
Everything but the finish for Iñaki. Had the space. Don't even know if Benny would have cut in front of him because he was trapped inside, but just threw it off the court.
Iñaki on the backhand, wall to wall from the left side. Robote by Benny. Carom by Iñaki. Stopped by Benny. He got it off quick. Just a little too high. That hit the overhead screen. That's 5 points for Iñaki of the Cyclones. Possible set, possible match point.
Benny gets there in time, but doesn't have enough time to stop, control it, and get a throw off. He goes for the simultaneous catch and throw. We've seen that done, but got to keep that overhead screen in mind, and just sent it up a little too high there.
Here's Benny on the backhand, wall to wall from the left side. Robote forehand to pass. Powerful forehand Robote by Benny. That really kicked up. Iñaki at the side wall. Big bounce, stopped by Benny. Benny from the right side. Iñaki now from the left. Benny takes it on the right, quick bounce. Powerful forehand again. 2-all by Benny. Opens and scores. That's the second point for Benny and the Devils here in the second set. He serves.
One thing he is doing now is he is generating a little more spin, so that 2-all's opening up a little bit more, and you see here, that's the difference. It's not particularly hard, but look at how much this opens up. Off the front wall, Iñaki running with it, and just not going to get there.
Fault over serve. Battle court rules allow for a second serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the forehand and 7-line. Iñaki from the 11 line. Wall to wall from the left side. Robote forehand, powerfully thrown by Benny. Iñaki on the Robote to the inside. Benny got assessed on it, makes the catch, returns it. There's Iñaki. Backhand. Robote forehand. Benny looks for the Robote right in front of Iñaki. Iñaki makes the catch. Inside placement scores for the win. Point, set, and match for Inaki of the Cyclones, taking it in straight sets, 6-2, 6-2.
2 wins in a row for the Cyclones. They step out ahead in today's game day, 2-1 lead. Second half of the game day left. 3 doubles matches. Division 4 up next. Nicholas and Kubala take on Bueno and Amigarena. That's coming up in 2 minutes.
All right, boys, who we betting on?
However you bet, whoever you are, the sportsbook for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Game day score reflecting that win by Inaki. Inaki finishing up his singles season with a record of 3-2. Cyclones leading the game day right now as we move into match number 4. An important doubles matchup next, but before we get to that, we're going to hear from Inaki. Ready to go over in the DraftKings Players Cage. Inaki, congratulations on that win. First time that you've played Benny here in Battle Court in Division 2. Do you refer to the pelota games for strategy when you're facing a new opponent like this?
First of all, I want to say that the results doesn't show the level of Benny like a player. And then yes, the strategy is the same in pelota than in Battle Court. So.
Easy enough, Inaki. A great win for you. Good luck the rest of the game day today.
Thank you.
And a classy guy, Inaki, there. First thing he says is about Benny. You know, not best performance right there, but certainly knows the type of player he is and what he's capable of.
100%.
We'll move on over to Division 4 doubles. Nicholas and Kubala with a record of 7-2. They'll take on Bueno and Amigarena. Team just 3-5 so far in the regular season. Last time these two teams matched up, Nicholas and Kubala with a decisive straight set victory, 6-2, 6-2. We'll see how this one goes. We'll have the Devils, Nicholas and Kubala, beginning with the serve. There's a serve. We begin match number 4. Amigarena, low runner inside. Look at Nicholas coming cross court to take it in the air. Floats it back to Amigarena. Left side, up the middle. Nicholas with the leaping grab. Forehand inside, scooped up by Bueno. Backhand. Fire to Kubala. He makes the catch, backing up at the 12 line. Nicholas now at the 9. Ortada, scoop by Bueno right there in the front court. Back to Nicholas. He sends it deep. Catch on the inside by Nicholas. Backhand. Trying to get it to pass. Amigarena reaching into the corner. Pulls it out. Here's Kubala now from the 12 line. Low runner. It's dropping. Amigarena just did step up before the second bounce. Kubala to the inside. Amigarena again takes it off the wall, sends it back. Kubala right on the numbers, makes a tough play. Ball tipped in the middle of the court. Bueno and Amigarena picking the first point this 4th match.
Just off the frame of Kubala's cesta. Again, catching on the left side was spotless.
Hard serve inside. Here's Kubala with the backhand. Mingarena steps back to cut it off. Ball now, same spot. Bueno steps in to cut it off. From the 12, floats one high off the sidewall. Mingarena runs under it, sends it back to him. Oh, not past Kubala, what a catch. Bueno charging in, forehand, low and hard to the inside. Tough rebote, Kubala saved it, that's in. Bueno, drop shot. Oh, look at Kubala, great read. He's all the way up there, sends it to pass, and Mingarena now retreating, and he saves the rebote. Scoop missed by Nicholas. 2 points for the Cyclones to begin this match.
Yeah, the point got a little chaotic, and Nicholas is spot on where those catches are concerned. That scoop just missed.
What a stop there by Kubala. Floats it back, and Mingarena's got it at the 11 line. Backhand fired above the pad, and Mingarena steps up, gets there before the second bounce. His return clears the screen. Nicholas all the way up at the 4 line. Rebote inside, back to a Mingarena. Tough catch. That one was right on the numbers, dropping a Mingarena. Steps up, same spot at the 11 line, puts it inside. There's Kubala. Now a Mingarena from the 12. Backhand. Oh, look at Nicholas reaching in. No fear. Sends it deep. Not past to Mingarena, though. A runner by Kubala. Scoop by a Mingarena. Backhand to the inside. There's Nicholas. Great defense by a Mingarena. Keeps it in front of him. Right back to Nicholas, though. Kubala comes in at the 13, makes the catch, floats it up. Here's Bueno. Wall to wall from the left side, Nicholas. Big bounce. Mingarena ran under it. Kubala now from the 12. Backhand up the middle. Mingarena now from the left side. Back inside. Calls for Nicholas to take it. He does. It's a 2-wall. Bueno's got it in the air. Right to the inside. Scoop by Kubala. What a point. Mingarena bullet up the middle. Kubala switches to the forehand. Gonna cross the wall. He does, but a better catch by Mingarena. And it's dropped. 3 straight for the Cyclones. Bueno and a Mingarena.
The collision distracted me. I lost track of the ball.
It was a rare drop. He looked like he had it for a moment. Oh, what a nice backhand there by Kubala. 3-wall play. Bueno to the outside. Will it land in? It does not. Gonna get the Devils on the board here. No shutout in this 4th match. They'll serve. Hard serve, crossing the wall. Look at a Mingarena. He's got it at the 12 line. Back inside, Kubala down. Here's a Mingarena from the 12. Looking to pass, Kubala steps in, makes the catch at the 13 line.
Beautiful
catch.
catch.
Tough catch along the wall. Backhand, passing. Nicholas saves another rebote. Bueno, oh, what a nice catch. Backhand, floated out of reach. Catch on the inside by Mingarena. Backhand. Oh, just past Kubala. Not a lot of communication, but Nicholas does make the save. Kubala all alone. He calls him off. Scoops it up. It's one back. There's Bueno now. Kubala to the inside. It's on the wall. Mingarena, spectacular catch. Sends it back to him. Kubala's there. Scoop by Mingarena. Backhand. Oh, that's right on the wall. Kubala didn't want it. Nicholas has to save it on the backhand. Cut off by Bueno. It's the backhand off. Right to Kubala, and he passes. That's kicking up and out. Rote left side, hooked up the middle. Nicholas steps in front of it. Oh, hard return. What a save on the rebote there by Mingarena. Big bounce. Kubala gets up there. Forehand. Oh, that'll score. That was well placed. 2 points for the Devils.
Phenomenal catch by Amigarena. Then Kubala gets in there. Beautiful catch on the forehand. Puts it right to the inside.
Ball missed off the serve. Devils have tied it 3-3.
Yeah, Nicholas has that serve. He just needs the opportunity to use it. Cortada serve, sidearm serve. Crossing the box and the wall. Here's another one. Amigarena's ready for that one.
Amigarena's got this one. Low bullet. Oh, what a stop by Nicholas. Goes deep, wall to wall. Rebote forehand by Bueno, coming in low. Scoop made by Kubala right on the wall. Bueno sets up, outside placement attempt, not outside enough. Nicholas Karam from the outside opens, and it'll score. Devils come all the way back. They lead it 4-3.
Nicholas clearly changing the pace. They know that Bueno is a little rocked in his singles match. All of a sudden, Nicholas is upping the pressure, not just on the serve, but upping the pressure on Bueno.
Rebote left side to the inside. It's a big bounce. Bueno cuts it off. Low bullet. Right back to Nicholas. 2-wall. It's going to open, and it scores. What a shot there from the inside. It's 5-3. Possible set point for the Devils.
The closer you are to that side wall when you're throwing a 2-wall, whether it's from the forehand or the costado, the more difficult it is to get it to open up like that. This is beautiful by Nicholas. Look, he's only about 2 feet from that side wall.
Low bullet by Amigarena. What a catch by Nicholas. Up the wall, comes down with the ball. Amigarena back in the corner. Floats it up. Here's Nicholas on the inside. That is coming way out. Bueno stops at the 4, turns it inside. Kubala takes it in off the side wall. Amigarena makes the stop. Backhand inside. What a catch by Kubala again. Kubala just beyond the 11. Floats it up. Not past Amigarena, but it is tipped. Point and set. Nicholas and Kubala win 6 straight, take it 6-3. 2 minutes. Come back and play set 2.
Quite a comeback there for the Devils. First 3 points going the direction of the Cyclones. And then Nicholas and Kubala come back and take the set 6-3. You're watching Battle Court live from the Magic City Jai-Alai Fronton in Miami, Florida. We're currently playing our 4th of 6 scheduled matches on the game day. We are back in the ESPN3 DraftKings Players Cage. Decidedly great set there played by Nicholas, who's standing, and Kubala seated on the bench. Two more doubles games to finish out the game day today. We'll have Fronton and the CRB going up against Ikeda and Rock next. And then we'll finish things off with a Carballo and Nicholas. Carballo coming in off of the taxi squad. Going up against Iñaki and Manu.
By Nicholas and Kubala, what a season it's been. Lost their last time out against Iturbide and Gal, handing them one of their 2 losses this year. The other one coming against Alex and Bradley of the Warriors. This is a team they handled pretty easily the first time around. Nicholas and Kubala, after that 3-0 start by the Cyclones, you thought that, you know, maybe this was going to be the Cyclones' day. They're going to stay alive. They're going to win this match and get the 4 wins necessary to extend their season. But the reason why these guys have been at the top of this group, come back, storming back, win 6 straight points, and they take the set. Motivated Kubala after a tough loss in that singles match. He played so well in the first set, then the next 2 just got away from him. Eager to get a win today, and he's playing like it in the backcourt.
going throw for throw with Amigarena, who's catching with spouse to that last, very last catch of the set.
Really, Amigarena's, he's been on a great run the last couple of game days. Bueno and Amigarena, 2 of their 3 wins this season come in their last 2 game days. We are ready to begin our second set here. Bueno and Amigarena will serve to Nicholas and Kubala. There's a serve. Set 2 is underway. Catch by Amigarena from the 12. Back inside. Look at Nicholas. Takes it in up overhead. Just out of reach of Amigarena. Comes shooting off the back wall. Bueno turns it. Nicholas makes the catch. Cortada tipped by the Cyclones. First point to Nicholas and Kubala to begin set 2.
Yeah, if Amigarena is going to go for that, he's got to call Bueno off. Or tell Bueno to go for it solo, all you.
Catch low on the left side there by Amigarena. Backhand, caught by Nicholas. There's Amigarena now from the 12 line. Puts it inside, catch along the wall. Amigarena back at the 13, sends it high and deep. Rebote coming out, Nicholas. It's a tough save right along the wall. It's floating. Amigarena stops it at the 8. Low ball return right to Nicholas. Catch back in the corner. Good range by Amigarena. Kubala now getting involved. Stops it on the left side. Floats it up. Just got out of the way there. Amigarena made the catch. Rebote inside. Big bounce. Amigarena settles at the 12. Sends it back to him a little bit higher. This one's saved by Nicholas. Goes at the 7, forehander Bote, looking to pass, he does. Amigarena turns, sends it high to the outside. Kubala waits for it. Crosses the wall, gonna be a tough one. Amigarena's got it again. Scoop by Nicholas. Placement to the outside, 3-wall lands in, and it's missed by Bueno. That's 2 points for the Devils.
Bueno's positioning was right, just not able to settle it, and necessity to make the rebote.
Look at that scoop. And then the high shot after. You see Amigarena. It's to the inside, leaving Bueno all alone, and knows where to be, but just a tough rebote to save. Ooh, that 8 Bueno up. He gets the 2-wall off, and it scores. Great combo. That's a point for the Cyclones. They're on the board here in set 2.
That was a confidence builder for him back in the singles match. A successful Costado 2-wall. See if it does anything for him here in the doubles.
Big backhand there by Kubala. Rebote forehand. By Bueno, turned and caught in the air. What a catch. Amigarena keeps it on the left side from the outside. Backhand crossing. Look at Kubala. Leaping grab. Amigarena goes over the top to the inside. One-handed scoop, but did not control it. Cyclones have tied it 2-2.
Scooping the ball with one hand blesses and burns. It really does. Sometimes it basically makes it so your hand's soft enough to stop the ball with a lot of wrist. Other times, it makes it very difficult to control.
Kubala takes in the serve, puts it along the wall. Amigarena ducks. Bueno saves it. It's a 2-wall. Stopped in the middle of the court on the bounce. Nicholas fires it to him. Amigarena got there before he crossed the wall. Big backhand follows. Nicholas, rebote save, dropping. Amigarena's there. Catch on the inside by Kubala. Floats it up. Inside, look at Amigarena. Takes it off the number.
What a
now
catch.
Now Kubala, good range. Inside for Bueno. Bueno will bullet. Nicholas left, but Kubala comes away with the ball in the backcourt. catch along the inside. Kubala goes deep. That clears. Bueno backpedaling into position, fires it at the 6. That somehow clears. Nicholas waiting for it. He turns it inside. Powerful throw. Going to be a tough rebote.
Good
wow,
save.
what a save. And Migarena switched to the right side late. Floats it up. Nicholas with time. Back inside. It's dropped. Tremendous point by all 4. That goes to the Devils. Nicholas and Kubala lead.
Migarena will catch ball after ball after ball on that left side. Right side sometimes gives him trouble.
Oh my, what a stop there. Clean miss by Bueno, and Migarena takes it in the backcourt. Big bounce, nice control along the inside. And Migarena puts it back. There's Kubala, nice catch in the air. Migarena from the 13 line, catch in the corner by Kubala. Puts it back. Migarena now at the 12. Now floats it high to the inside. Look at Migarena, nice play. Sends it back. Kubala with a leaping grab. Kubala now from the 12, changes it up. Throws one to Bueno. He stops it on the right side, puts it inside. Nicholas in position, saves the rebote. Migarena's got this one, comes over the top, looking for the bounce, and Kubala got it right as it crossed the sidewall. Kubala steps out of the way, Nicholas alone for the rebote, sweeps it off the ground, back to Migarena's left side. Another big rebote coming out. Nicholas plays this one right on the wall. Now Bueno's got to come back, lays it up. Nicholas with the leaping catch. Ball missed by Kubala. The Cyclones not at 3-3.
Kubala had been spot on right up into that catch. Again, going throw for throw with Migarena here in the backcourt.
How are you? Very well. Good. Lindsay's here.
Backhand floated out of reach. Here's the rebote by Bueno. Lays it inside. Nicholas with the grab. Low runner, Migarena all alone, and he scoops it up. All he can behind this throw. Kubala able to pass. Bueno lays it up the middle. Kubala runs under it again. Ball tipped. That's 4 points for the Devils. Back out ahead. Rebote to the inside. Back to the inside. What a catch there, but it was juggled. Point 2, Bueno and Migarena. 4-4 is the score. Cyclone serve. It's a long rebote. Bueno up with a 5, back to the inside. Good catch by Kubala across the wall. What a catch there by Migarena. Back inside, Kubala's there. Nicholas for the rebote. Floats it high inside, big bounce. Migarena's got it. Little bullet along the wall. Kubala steps away. Nicholas saves the rebote. Oh, that's outside. Bueno diving save, keeps it going. Now a Migarena. On the inside, back to Kubala. Floats one up. Migarena backed up to the 13 line. Not going to let it pass. This one does. Rebote's forehand. Nicholas lays it up on the bounce. This one controlled by Migarena. Comes over the top. Nicholas steps in front of it again. Long cortada. Bueno all alone. He's got this one. Backhand opens up to the middle of the court. Kubala again. Tries to pass. This one just out of reach. Bueno off his footing, pushes it up the middle. Nicholas winds it up. Low and hard to the inside. Oh, he let it pass, and the rebote's not there. 5 points, possible set, and a possible match point for the Devils, Nicholas and Kubala.
Rare to see a Miguelina let one go. That was coming off the side wall. There is nothing easy about this catch that's coming at him. Feels that he may have a chance at the rebote. He just didn't. Look at Bueno.
Cuts off the serve, puts it up the middle. Look at Kubala. Oh, just dropped it on the right side. We've brought it to 5-5. This is possible match point for the Devils. And this is set point for the Cyclones.
This has been an intense second set. Do we have an intense third set coming?
Kubala takes it on the outside, floats the backhand, caught by Miguelina. Kubala again on the inside, catch by Bueno. Miguelina steps up, he's at the other line, low bullet, it's on the wall. Kubala calls for Nicholas to take it, he saves the rebote. Bueno tipped it. Point, set, and match. Nicholas and Kubala straight set victory, 6-3. 6-5. Going back and forth on tonight's game day, the Devils knotted up 2-2. Tied up again as we head into match number 5. Fronton and CRB will take on Ikeda and Rock. Game day score reflecting that win just a few moments ago, earned by Nicholas and Kubala, finishing up their regular season with a record of 8-2. We will hear from those guys in just a few moments. Preparing for our next match, Division 5. That'll be Fronton and CRB against Ikeda and Rock. Cyclone season maybe on the line in this next one. We will hear from our winning team, Nicholas and Kubala there. Really a strong start on both sides of the ball there. I mean, the defense is always there, but the offense picking up today. And that was the difference for the straight set win. Let's hear from them, Nicholas and Kubala. Congratulations, guys. You started that match very offensive and throwing a lot of shots. Was that a result of the last match getting away from you, or just a function of how the pace and the match picked up today?
Well, I don't know about for Nicholas. But it certainly seems like different from our last match. He was throwing a lot of shots. And once I was able to catch the ball and back him up well enough, then he was feeling confident enough to really play aggressive.
Yeah, and you finished your season with a record of 8-2 overall. How did you guys think you fared this season in Division 4? How'd you assess it?
Pretty good. I mean, as far as the rank goes, I think we're the highest ranked 4 team. He is a 1. So I think we did have a little advantage, but too bad we didn't go perfect.
That's all right. Hey, great season overall, guys, and good luck the rest of the way today.
Thank you very much. Go Devils.
All right, Fronton and CRB step out with a chance to give the Devils their 3rd win of the game day. They'll take on Ikeda and Rock. So Fronton and CRB, 4-3 so far this regular season. Ikeda and Rock just 1-7.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to begin our next match. Fronton and CRB for the Devils. Ikeda and Rock for the Cyclones.
See the teams up there now, ready to go with match 5.
Here's the backhand by Fronton. Rock is there. Backhand by Rock. Fronton midcourt. Rock again, this time from the 11 line.
CRB from the 11 to the inside. Rock on the forehand. Ronda will pick this up on the bounce, backhand to the inside. Backhand 2-all.
Huh.
Lands in.
How about that?
And scores. The Guillermina for Rock and the advice from Inaki on the other side.
The director of fun said, what did he say, 4 more?
I said 3 more like that. I believe I heard from someone. I know we don't have an audience in here right now. So. Ronda picks the serve. Drop shot. Dead by the second bounce. Well thrown. One. Fronda serves.
Well, Fronton does play aggressively in all doubles, so, you know, that backhand 2-all that Rock threw is just going to keep him a little more honest through the rest of this match. Keep him to the outside more. Cyclones try to play it to CRB, and that's probably their best chance to win this one.
Ikeda picks the serve. Here's the backhand. CRB, backhand from the 10 line to the forehand of Ikeda. Ball's dropped at the 9. 2 points for Fronda and CRB. Fronda serves.
And if the Cyclones want to pull off the upset, Ikeda's got to play, I mean, not necessarily hero ball, but he's got to play a little
with
more
Rock
offensively and together. Yeah, that's a good point, Stu. You know, haven't communicated well, haven't played, I mean, really haven't played a good match together this year. That would be a great time.
Ikeda picks the serve. There's the backhand. Rotate forehand by Fronda. Fine catch by Rock. Here's the backhand. CRB from the 11 line. Ikeda at the sidewall. Backhand from the 8. Ball tipped by Ikeda at 9 line. 3 points for Fronda and CRB. Of the Devils, Fronda serves.
Also, Ikeda's, you know, playing a little deeper than he's used to playing, not in the normal spots where he is on the front court. I mean, he's backed up all the way to the 10 line trying to make that catch, and you just don't usually see him play that deep.
Fine catch by Rock. Big backhand. Passes CRB. Rebote save by Veranda. Rock, difficult catch there, floating up on the left side. Beautiful catch by Rock off the bounce. Veranda, Cortada, stopped by Ikeda. Fine catch. CRB back to the 12, backhand. Veranda calls for the play. Rebote forehand. Ikeda, forehand Rebote. Caught the pad. 4 points for Veranda and CRB of the Devils. Veranda serves.
You see how Ikeda's leaning back and reaching back for that ball as he's trying to save the Rebote? I mean, it's so hard to get enough power. You're going to have to hook it. It's going to die off the sidewall. Trying to keep it along the wall, get it to die in the corner are the Devils, and doing a good job so far. Very simple game plan working out for him.
Here's Rock on the catch, backhand to the inside. Rebote forehand by Veranda, floated up. Ikeda
took his eye off.
Took his eye off the ball just as he was catching. That's 5 points for Veranda and CRB. Possible set point. Don't know if he saw where Veranda was going, but
well, he was looking at something that was
see
not
if this
the ball.
is it right here.
Yeah.
See, he makes the catch.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, you were right on, Stu. Yeah. Looking up instead of into the basket.
Beautiful catch by Rock. Here's the backhand. CRB, backhand from the 10 line. Rebote forehand is in play. Veranda's there. Velo to the outside scores. Point and set to Veranda and CRB. 2 minutes go on the board. We'll come back out. Player next set.
Hard to imagine that Veranda and CRB opened up this season 0-3, and that was the case. I mean, coming into this year, on paper, Veranda and CRB seemed like they were going to threaten Goanaga and Flores for one of the best teams in Division 5, and they started off 0-3. They've turned it around since that point, now winning 4 matches in a row and looking to make it 5 here, but Still for the Cyclones in a match with the season on the line, just hope for a little more. I mean, only that one backhand 2-all is thrown by Rock that got the only point. Outside of that, it was all Devils and really all defense.
Here we are back in the ESPN3 DraftKings Players Cage. You see Fronton seated on the bench. And there is CRB. CRB catching spot on there in the backcourt. Again, overall, CRB in the front court versus CRB in the backcourt. Fewer mistakes in the backcourt. Fewer unforced errors.
Damn. And if the Devils win this match, that'll be their 3rd win of the game day. And it would officially clinch a playoff spot for the Devils. Coming into today, they needed a tie or better to clinch that spot, and the win right here would give them enough for a tie. See Carballo preparing. He'll be coming out next. Carballo and Nicholas will take on Inaki and Manu. Good finale here. Coming up after this one, Fronton and CRB took the first set 6-1.
It's been good to have Carballo back off the taxi squad. It's been playing really well.
Able to get a win, so good for Carballo. He's going to have his hands full with Inaki and Manu, and I believe, is it the first time Carballo is playing against Manu? Because they were teammates for almost every season, and so that's going to be fun storyline to look out for in the next one.
We are ready to begin our second set. Ikeda will have the serve for the Cyclones. Fault over serve. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Fronton picks this serve, drop shot. Ikeda gets there. Backhand. CRB's on it. Backhand to the inside. Robote saved by Rock. That's well done. Backhand by CRB. Rock on the catch. Backhand from the 11. Hard throw to the inside. Robote.
No, tough catch.
CRB from the 12. Back to the inside. Ikeda has it on the forehand at the 9. Hard throw. Caught by Ferranda at the 8 line. Powerful backhand by Rock, passes. Robote forehand by Ferranda. Cortada scores for Ikeda. First point of the second set goes to Ikeda and Rock of the Cyclones. Ikeda serves.
Yeah, took a little bit off of that one. Kicked sharply off the side wall and got an 8 Ferranda up there. Ball bounced out of the basket. Gets the Cyclones their first point. See what they can do with this.
Here's a backhand by CRB. Robote saved by Ikeda. Ferranda alone up at the 7 line. Outside placement is read by Ikeda. He stops it. Cortada stopped and returned by Ferranda. 2 pass. Robote saved by Rock. Well played. Scoop attempt missed. 1-1. Ferranda serves.
Smart throw there by Ferranda. If you go straight to the outside with that, Ikeda has a chance to make a catch and kill it if he does. You throw it up the middle. Well, if Rock scoops it up, all he's going to do is throw it back inside and continue the
And if
round.
I'm not mistaken, I believe that that's Rock's first miss in this match.
Yeah, he's
caught everything. Fault, underserve. Battle court rules allow for 2 serves. Second serve must be good. Good serve lands between the 4 and 7 line. Powerful forehand by Rock. Ferranda to the inside. Here's Rock from the 11 line. That backhand clears the overhead screen. Robote forehand by Ferranda. Rock's there. Beautiful catch. Big backhand.
Rock again. This time from the 11 line. Catch by CRB. Cortada, low and hard, stopped in the front court by Ferranda. Rock now on the forehand. Mid-wall placement, Ferranda reaching around Ikeda, puts this inside and rocks there. Backhand. Rotate forehand by Ferranda. Caught again by Rock.
It's a great throw.
2 points for Ikeda and Rock. Ikeda serves for the Cyclones.
I mean, love that from Rock. I mean, goes for the Pico with the big bounce. He's able to cross the wall just before CRB gets up to it.
Very well done.
Sneaks it by him.
CRB on the catch. Here's the backhand. Rock reaching up, settles it, backhand to the inside. Ikeda on the right side. Low and hard, stopped by Ferranda. Ferranda sends this one. Rebote kicking out all the way to the 5 line. Thrown beautifully by Ikeda. What a catch by CRB off the side wall. Ikeda on the left side, backhand. Rebote, forehand by Ferranda. Backhand 2-all, lands in and scores. Guillermina scoring for Ikeda. He serves.
We said Ferranda, one of the more aggressive players, and he plays mostly towards the side wall, leaving the outside exposed. Good shot now by Ikeda with the backhand 2-all.
CRB gets in there, backhand, right to the left side of Rock. CRB on the forehand this time. Over the head of Ikeda to the left side of Rock. Backhand from the 11 line. CRB on the right side. Rock catches it up high on the left side. Here's the backhand. Rock again. This one too high. That caught the overhead screen. 2 points for Ferranda and CRB. Ferranda has a serve.
Catching has been solid.
Rock's coming off to, I believe, change something with his center. That was quick.
I was gonna say, I always get a little nervous when a player walks off like that, but it's all good.
Excellent catch by Rock off a blasted serve by Ferranda. Rebote, forehand save by Ikeda. Here's Ferranda. Cortada scores. 3-3, Ferranda serves for the Devils.
Such a good throw, too, and with Ikeda out of the mix, Rock is moving up, trying to catch that low to his left side. Next to impossible.
The hard serve by Ferranda is stopped by Rock. Here's CRB at the back wall. Rebote, forehand by Ikeda. Ferranda from the 7 line, wall to wall on the backhand. CRB on the catch. Rock now on the forehand. From the 12 line, straight back, caught by Ferranda. Ferranda hard to the inside, and Rock is there. Another great catch. Big backhand follows. Rebote forehand by Ferranda. Rebote forehand. Ikeda reaches in. Backhand from the 9. Ferranda's got it. Winds up. Splitter. Scoop by Ikeda. Cortada by Ikeda. Stop by Ferranda. Rebote save. Down low, and Ferranda's in there making the catch. Rock on the catch.
Look at this.
Backhand. 2-all. Scoop by Ferranda. Low and hard by Ferranda. Off the frame of Rock Sestic goes. Tremendous play by all 4 players. That's a 4th point for Ferranda and CRB.
I gotta say, Rock has really stepped up. And you noted that he was catching well. He's played pretty well outside of a few misses. I mean, this is a player, I mean, Division 6 player, giving you this type of support from the backcourt.
Absolutely. That's tough for anyone to catch.
Yeah. He did great throughout that rally just to get him to that point.
Hard serve stopped by Rock on the left side. Here's CRB sending it deep. Rock's there with a hop. CRB, backhand. Ikeda from the 9 line. CRB again. Here's Rock from the 12. Powerful backhand, stopped by CRB. Rock now on the forehand from the 12 line. Robote. Robote forehand by Ikeda, scooped up by CRB in the backcourt. Ikeda from the right side, low and hard. CRB's there again. Ikeda calls for the Robote, puts it inside. Ferranda attacks. The Philo, stopped by Ikeda. Oh, he lost his footing in the screen. Tremendous effort by Ikeda to keep that point going. That is a 5th point for Ferranda and CRB. Possible match point.
He got there, but obviously his foot got trapped in some of the netting outside. Let's take a look here. Outside placement attempt, and it's going to be that step right there. Yep, slips, loses his footing. Actually caught the net a few times.
Once that net gets under your feet, that's why you see guys very careful getting to it. Yeah. You lose all traction.
You got nothing.
You lose all traction.
Oh, my. What a way to end up.
Point, set, and match for Ferranda and CRB, winning in straight sets, 6-1, 6-3.
And the 3rd win for the Devils on the game day. They're going to get at least half a point, good enough to advance to the playoffs. Congratulations to the Winter 2025 Devils. They'll be playing on into May. Ferranda and CRB with the clinching win there. 1 match left on the game day. Carballo and Nicholas with a shot at Inaki and Manu. That's coming up in 2 minutes. Bradley on the move, breaking. He got there. Blast the forehand. Everybody out of the way, and Nicholas got hit. Sherry up in the front court towards the inside. What a scoop!
What an amazing
by Douglas.
catch.
Sherry picks it up in the front court, whips it inside. Another one. Game day score reflecting that win by the Devils, Ferranda and CRB, sending the Devils into the playoffs. Seeding, obviously, going to depend here how they do the last few game days and the last couple matches. Ferranda and CRB will be playing into May. Congratulations. Let's hear from our winners, Ferranda and CRB, guys. Hard to believe. I mean, you started the season 0-3, and now you've rattled off 5 wins in a row. I mean, thinking back to that time, in what ways has this team improved the most since the start of the year?
I would say it's communication. I mean, him and me haven't been playing. This is our first time playing together. He has so much experience. Me trusting him in the front has been a big deal for me to play confident in the back, and that's been able to project this team to start winning games.
Awesome, guys. We believe with that win, you guys have now officially clinched your spot in the playoffs, so good luck with the seeding, and we'll see you guys in May. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Go Devils.
Final match here, Division 1 doubles with Carballo filling in for Jairo. So Carballo and Nicholas taking on Inaki and Manu. The #1 double spot for the Devils. Some matches have featured Jairo, some matches have featured Ferranda, some have featured Carballo. Overall, 2-5 this season. Inaki and Manu, top team for the Cyclones. One of the best doubles teams for the Cyclones. The record of 6-2. Ready to go with our sixth and final match. Carballo and Nicholas will serve to Inaki and Manu. There's the serve. We begin. Back into the inside. Scoop by Nicholas. Here's Carballo on the inside. Floats it up along the wall. Manu steps up, makes the catch. Back to Nicholas on the inside from the 11 line. Manu makes the catch. Sends it back. Ooh, drop between them. Nicholas, tough scoop. Fires it up. And Manu runs under it. Catch on the inside, Manu. This one dropping low. Carballo takes it off the wall. Backhand. Right back to him. Scoop. Back at the 12 line. Hard inside. There's Inaki getting involved. He floats it up. Not past Nicholas. He makes the leaping grab. Manu now, hard throw on the inside. There's Nicholas. Tough catch right on the wall. Manu back inside. Here's Carballo with the forehand. Hard throw crossing the wall. Manu's there. Scoop by Nicholas. One-handed catch. Backhand clears the screen. Coming out to Inaki. Plays it up the middle. Nicholas again on the right side. Back inside. Inaki with a reach. Cuts it off. Tough rebote, it's right on the wall. Kind of died, floating back to Manu. He secures it, drops it low. There's Carballo. Catch by Nicholas, rips it off the wall, backhand. Coming right to Manu, he makes the play. Nicholas up at the 9, backhand inside. Manu again, it deep. Here's Nicholas now. Ooh, that just caught the rail. Is out of play. Well played first point going to the Cyclones. Catch by Inaki on the inside. He floats it back. Dropping for Nicholas. Tough catch right on the wall. Manu floats it back. Carballo now. Lower and harder. Inaki comes cross court to cut it off. Catch by Nicholas now from the 11. Backhand. Stopped by Manu. Manu plays it along the wall. Nicholas now. Hard to the inside. Inaki calls him off. Pushes the rebote up the middle. Here's Carballo. Cortada, low and hard. Look at Inaki coming cross court. He scoops it up. Nicholas looking to pass. Manu not going to let him. Great range. Floats it inside. Nicholas again from the 9. Tough catch right on the numbers there by Manu. Rebote left side by Inaki to the inside. Picked up by Nicholas. There's a backhand. Low bullet. Caught by Inaki. What a play. Climbing the wall. Comes down with the ball. What a stop there by Nicholas back in the corner. Floats it up. Past him. Inaki able to save the rebote. Here's Nicholas now at the 9. Backhand inside. Manu. Backhand. Look at Carballo flying into the wall. Backhand to the inside. Manu pulls it off the wall. Goes deep. That clears. Carballo moving early. Forehand rebote. Inside. There's Manu. Backhand. Manu takes it off the wall again. This one coming in lower, Carballo. Backhand opens up to the outside, Manu. Carballo again, great foot speed, comes cross court, takes it in, puts it back up the middle. Here's Manu, low runner inside, scoop by Nicholas. Backhand, pass both Cyclones. Inaki looking for it, he saves it high to the inside. What a catch up the wall. Nicholas comes down with the ball. There's Manu again.
Also what a catch.
Great catch on the numbers. Back to Carballo. Fires it high and deep to the inside. Here's the rebote. Rebote forehand. Tipped. 2 points for the Cyclones, Inaki and Manu.
A tip by Nicholas on the forehand. I'll tell you, Carballo, his court positioning, really good. Catching spot on, and power. Stepped off the taxi squad very well each time he's come up.
Low ball inside. Look at Inaki. Runs under it. Floats it up. Nicholas. Backhand from the 11. Pass Manu. Calling for the rebote. Inaki gets in there. Makes the save. Carballo reaches on the inside. The backhand. Clears. Inaki stays with it. Saves the rebote. Right back to Nicholas. Manu from the 11. Blasts the backhand. Nicholas steps up. Pushes it in the air. Wall to wall from the left side, rebote to the outside. Inaki got him there. 3 points. Cyclone serve.
Threw it, then he reached for it. Don't want to see him pinch that bicep. If he's got a full extension on this, let's see how full the extension is. No, he didn't go for it right after he threw it, so that's a pretty good sign. We know he's tender in that general area, the chest and the bicep.
Serve crosses the wall, gets back to Nicholas. He fires it inside. Manu takes it off the wall, sends it back to him. Manu comes over the top on the inside. Carballo flies in, makes the catch. Oh, Manu cut it off, sends it high and deep. Tough rebote for Nicholas. It's a 2-wall return. Inaki has it in the air, opens up for the carom. It's perfect. 4 in a row for the Cyclones.
Inaki's doing an excellent job of mixing it up there in the front court, keeping Carballo. You see, Carballo's basically, he's at the 8 line about the middle of the court before he starts making his move. And Inaki's got his eye on him.
Nice stop up overhead, backhand to the inside. Here's Nicholas. Forehand crossing the wall, Manu, great catch. Hard backhand inside, Carballo comes flying in, takes it off the wall. The backhand's in the overhead screen, 5 points. Possible set point for Inaki and Manu.
1 unforced error there for Carballo, that ball hitting the overhead screen.
Nicholas, low runner inside, crossing the wall. Catch. Inaki comes down with the ball. Beautiful play. Rolote, forehand, right up the middle, stopped by Manu. What a stop along the wall. Spectacular catch. Back to Nicholas. He sends it deep.
Inaki called for that too, and Manu just, what a catch.
Backhand opens up to the outside. Carballo ducks. Manu sends it right over his head. Tough one. Picked off the sidewall. Backhand 2-wall. It opens. Oh, Inaki's got it. Karam from the outside. Carballo stops it. Carambola. That'll score. Wild point, but it does go the way of the Devils. They extend the set here.
They'll avoid a shutout. So Inaki makes a great catch here. Tries to get Carballo. Carballo reads it well. Good return by Carballo.
Very well done.
Looks like they may be checking out the ball.
Sesta.
Oh, Sesta. How about that?
Yes, so won't even need equipment timeout. Just reinforce the Sesta with some tape. Again, these baskets are entirely handmade from a chestnut frame and chestnut reeds. And you can see some reeds sticking up on that Sesta. And the strapping tape does a really good job of reinforcing it.
If one were looking for some chestnut, would that be accessible here in the States, or would you maybe have to go elsewhere?
I imagine that we do have chestnut here in the United States, but it's not the chestnut that can be used in Jai-Alai, as I've found out over the course of the last 50 years. I believe only that chestnut emanating from the Pyrenees Mountains of Spain and France qualifies as chestnut worthy of Jai-Alai. Andrew.
Well said, Stu. Looks like we're ready to continue on with the match.
Producer Lindsay, he's not writing it down. I just want to point that out.
5-1, Inaki and Manu lead. Possible set point for him. Carballo and Nicholas serve. Manu on the inside. Catch along the wall. What a stop there by Nicholas. And it scores. That's 2 points. Devils serve.
I mean, it's rare to see Manu miss, but it's also, I don't know that I've seen the ball come back quite that fast.
It's just a bullet.
I mean, Nicholas blasted that.
Hard serve. Manu handles up at the 11 line, sends it back. Wall to wall. That's coming out. Robote. Carballo set up. Lays it back up the middle. Manu going to keep it on the left side. Carballo calls him off. Robote played to the left side of Manu. Another one. Carballo again. Robote forehand. A little more power. Pass pulls Cyclones. Now Inaki able to save the Robote. Nicholas steps back, controls it at the 11 line, puts it inside. Manu waits on it. That's missed by Carballo with the leaping catch up on the front. Point and set. Inaki and Manu take it 6-2. 2 minutes. We'll play our second set.
So Carballo not able to get anything going in terms of that aggressive style of play. We'll see what he has in store here in this second set. Nicholas, one particularly hard thrown ball, just come right up the wall.
Manu was, some of the catches he made just effortlessly along the wall. His skills are second to none.
Well, that's kind of the problem with Manu, where all of Jai-Alai in the United States is concerned. When you see him catching that backhand, you say, well, that can't be that difficult. I mean, he doesn't seem to be doing that much. It's like, no, it is such a unique skill that he has with that backhand. I mean, it's beautiful to watch. He's always well positioned. He has a high degree of accuracy when he throws it, and he throws it with a lot of power. Here we are in the ESPN3 DraftKings Players Cage. Final moments here before the beginning of our second set. See Migarena and Manu consulting.
Again, game day still on the line here. Devils lead 3-2. But it doesn't look like the Cyclones will be playing into May in those championship rounds. Still prize money on the line for these players. And team prize money as well.
Every
So
time
game
they're
day
on the
very
court.
much.
No, every time they're on the court, there is championship prize money is not on the line. There's game day prize money on the line.
Set 2 ready to begin here. Carballo and Nicholas will serve. There's a serve. Set 2 has begun. Carballo on the inside, looking for the rebote. Plays it back to Manu. He makes the catch. Rebote inside, cut off by Manu. There's the backhand. Along the wall, Nicholas stops it. Rebote left side, picked up by Nicholas. Backhand right on the wall. Oh my, what a catch there by Manu. Carballo goes up for it, stops it at the 7. Backhand opens up. Manu knows where to be. Over Carballo's head, Nicholas scoops it up off the sidewall. Backhand, caught by Manu. Rebote forehand, powered inside. Manu waiting for it, lays it up. It's tipped by Carballo. Trying to get into the throwing motion quickly. That's a point for Inaki and Manu to open set 2.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Andrew. You could see how quickly, you make the catch. The Cestus has to have at least some give just to settle that ball in the basket. Right there, he's moving into the throwing motion.
Here's Manu from the 11. Back inside, one-handed grab by Nicholas. Manu forehand, crossing the wall, tipped by Nicholas. Trying to back it up as he made the play. That's 2 in a row for the Cyclones.
A little bit of late notice by Carballo. Carballo goes into the side wall. Thought that he had a shot at it, but that was never an easy, this was never easy for, yeah. That ball needs to be taken in the air.
Backhand inside, cut off by Manu. Low bullet on the wall. Here's Nicholas. Catch by Manu, big backhand follows. That's coming way out. Carballo up at the 3 line, turns it inside. Oh, what a scoop by Inaki though. Cortada picked up by Nicholas. Low running backhand, Manu stops it, sends it high and deep. Rebote coming all the way out to him again. From the 4 line, Carballo passes wall to wall. Carballo got to step in front of it again. Cortada, he rips it, but Manu takes it in with a nice catch. Rebote forehand. Looking to pass, Manu. Not going to let him. Great catch overhead. This one dropping. Nicholas steps up. Step by Inaki. Came up on him quick. Floats the backhand. It's right on the wall. Nicholas backhand 2-wall return. It's in. Inaki scoops it. Cortada picked up by Nicholas. What a catch. Low backhand. Scoop again right on the wall. Backhand opens up to the middle of the court. Inaki 2-wall. Carballo stops it. Cortada. That'll score. What a point there. First point for the Devils here in set 2.
Carballo generated a lot of power on this. Pass right in front of Manu. Didn't have a play on it.
Rebote forehand here by Carballo. Sends it deep. Up the middle, it clears. Inaki looking for it.
Made an adjustment.
Sends it high and deep. Nicholas now calling for Carballo, and he lays it up. Things settle back down now. Manu from the backcourt, trying to pass. Look at Nicholas running up under it. Inaki set up for the rebote to the inside. Scoop by Nicholas. Oh, running backhand. Here's Manu. Nicholas steps up. He's got it in the air at the 11 line. Hard throw. Manu picks it off deep in the backcourt. Manu again from that left side. Even closer to the wall. No play for Nicholas. Carballo sweeps it off the ground. Inaki able to cut it off. Just passes again. Pressuring Carballo up in the front. That rebote saved again. Inaki all over it. Nicholas able to stop it in the air, sends it high and deep. Manu, nice catch. Backhand inside. It'll be a tough one, long run. Saves it. Nicholas, forehand inside. Inaki there again, cuts it off, sends it deep. Here's the rebote. Hooked. Hooked into the pad, and the pad is bad. 3-1 lead for the Cyclones. Nicholas gets up to the serve, right on the wall. Manu takes it off. He goes deep. That is coming way out. Up at the 3-line. Carballo turns it again. Scoop by Inaki. Carballo, aggressive call. He's in position, makes the save. Manu gonna let it pass. He ducks. Inaki comes back, saves the rebote. Here's Nicholas now. Wall to wall from the 8-line. Rebote turned by Inaki. Oh, what a stop there. Big backhand again, Carballo. That one's on the wall. Sends it wall to wall. Inaki now turns it outside, beautiful. And that is just perfect. The outside placement off the rebote scores. It's a 4-1 lead.
Inaki scored with that earlier, and that's another excellent time to throw it. Throw the ball where your opponent's not. Don't often see Inaki going straight to the outside with the forehand like that, but Carballo, Manu was all the way on the inside, and Carballo was basically mid-court to the inside. Perfect time to throw it. Really well done by Inaki.
Catch here by Nicholas from the outside. High and hard. Manu ducks out of the way. Inaki saves another rebote with a big bounce. Scoop by Nicholas. Passing from the left side. Rebote by Inaki. Little clip. Carballo coming cross court, 2-wall, too low. That's in the pad, and the pad is bad. 5 points, possible set, and a possible match point for Inaki and Manu.
Carballo made a beautiful catch, complicated catch. Try to accentuate it with a kill shot, but from the sidewall to the pad.
Nicholas, powerful backhand cut off by Manu from the 11 line. Put it inside. Nicholas, what a grab. This one comes in low. One-handed scoop made. Backhand 2-wall. That's too wide. Point, set, and match. Inaki and Manu take it in straight sets. 6-2, 6-1. Game day ends in a 3-3 tie. Folks, stay tuned for the post-game show coming up just a few moments.
What is Battle Court Jai-Alai? The world's fastest ball sport, and so much more. Jai-Alai is played inside a 3-wall court that measures just 120 feet long by 33 feet wide. The game is played with a hand-woven wicker basket called a cesta and a Jai-Alai ball. The ball is as hard as a rock, and it travels around the court at an average speed of 150 miles per hour. Players will crash into the sidewall or throw themselves onto the concrete ground without a single layer of padding just to get to it. Jai-Alai is like playing baseball if you had to catch and throw with just the gloved hand. And it's a rally sport, kind of like tennis, but much more dangerous.
Manny, there's a carom. Bradley on the move, breaking. He got there. Blast the forehand. Everybody out of the way, and Nicholas got hit by the ball.
Jai-Alai is played as a singles match or as a doubles match. The match winner is the first player or doubles pair to win 2 out of 3 sets played to 6 points.
Gaucheri up in the front court towards the inside. What a scoop!
What an amazing
by Douglas.
catch.
Gaucheri picks it up in the front court, whips it inside.
Right, another
one.
made. Did it
He
again.
made it.
2 times back-to-back. That's freaking crazy.
Here's Gaucheri, 2-all return. Douglas reaching outside. Powerful forehand at the feet is missed for the
Point,
win.
set, and match.
Point, set, and match.
That's
Douglas.
respect.
Every point rally begins with a serve, then the players alternate catching and throwing the ball. While a point is being played, the ball can hit any of the court walls, but it cannot bounce twice on the ground. Simply put, the object of the game is to catch one more ball than your opponent, or better yet, to fire the ball so it can't be caught. When a player cannot successfully return the ball to the front wall, then 1 point is awarded to the opposition and the next rally begins with a new serve. A Battle Court Game Day consists of 6 matches, and the team that wins the most matches wins the day. Pick your favorite team, doubles pairing, or singles player, and cheer for them all season long. Or up the ante and bet on it. Battle Court Jai-Alai allows for wagering on the matches, the sets, and each individual point. The ball is lethal, the game is lightning fast, and the action is limitless. This is Battle Court Jai-Alai.
All right, boys, who we betting on?
However you bet, whoever you are, the sportsbook for every kind of player. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Hey everyone, welcome into the Battle Court postgame show. Another game day ending in a 3-3 tie, but good enough to send the Devils into the playoffs. We're going to speak with one of those Devils today, a guy that we've been hearing from a lot the last couple of weeks. He's been playing so well, number 19, Ferunda, once again earning Player of the Day honors. Now, Ferunda, Devils season wasn't so great at the beginning. I mean, you guys with a particularly slow start didn't really have any wins through the first couple game days, and now you're looking at one of the top 2 seeds. How proud are you of how this team responded after such a slow start?
I think in the beginning we were like a little bit nervous. We need some confidence playing with each partner, and in my backcourt, I'm 100% super confident with my backcourts, and I think Yeche is another super good backcourt. So that way, I think improving and practicing a lot, we became much better in the end of the tournament.
Yeah, and your aggressive play has been a catalyst for this great run by the Devils. Would you say that you're starting to feel comfortable, or at what point in the season did you really start to feel the confidence within those teams?
I think in the middle of the competition, more or less. I figured out that I just have to do my game, like leave the backcourts doing their job, and when I have the chance to finish the point. So with that, I feel more confident, and I feel it when I finish the point.
Ferunda, we're very glad to hear that Jairo will be coming back. And I am curious how much of Jairo's absence, the reason for that absence, has helped drive the Devils in these last couple weeks.
I think he helped us because he was always on the chat. He was giving us a lot of energy, and I think he was even out. He was giving us so much energy and so much positives that we were playing great even without him. I think with him will be better, and now that he's coming, I think we can be better than we are right now.
And you really stepped up when you had to. Every day you've done it. You've been Player of the Day multiple days because you have been the best Player of the Day. So congratulations and good luck going forward.
Thank you very much.
Yep, good luck the rest of the way. Devils will be playing on, as will the Fireballs. Going to change up a little bit here. Let's take a look at our game day coming up on Friday before we get you those standings. So the Chargers and Fireballs will be playing on Friday night. We'll get you that schedule here, beginning
there's a
with
scribble on there.
Division II singles. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Has there ever been a
there.
scribble? I've never seen a scribble before.
It's all right, still. We'll get through it. First match here will be Iturbide against Urrutia. That's Division 2 singles. Then Zuleika against Arats in Division 1 singles. Then we'll go to doubles. Arta and El Barba will take on Jedin and Ron.
Always a fun one.
Then back to singles. Ubia will take on Lalu, the undefeated Lalu, might me add. Then Gala will take on Cabrera, the undefeated Cabrera. And then the finale will be top division doubles, Zuleika and Ubia against Urrutia and Arat. So that will be on Friday night, the Chargers and the Fireballs. So with that, now let's take a look at our season standings and see where those teams stack up. We know the Fireballs are up at the top. They've secured their playoff spot, but the Chargers, well, they're going to have a pretty big game day coming up. If the Chargers could win that game day, they would get to 7 points, and they would be, 1.5 clear of the Warriors, who still have 2 game days left. The Chargers and Warriors will be playing one more time from now through the end of the regular season, and it really looks like at this point that final playoff spot's coming down to those 2 teams. So critical for the Chargers on Friday. Join us when they play the Fireballs. In total, Stu, this regular season's winding down. We have only 6 regular season game days left. The playoffs are upcoming. We said we'll be playing into May. May 2nd is one of the semifinals. May 4th will be the other semifinal. That's a Friday and a Sunday. Championship.
Sunday's important to remember.
Sunday's important because it's a little different, Stu. We don't usually do that.
I'm sound asleep.
So don't contact Stu on Sunday normally, but that Sunday
but that
he'll
Sunday,
be here.
Yes, I'll be here held up by something.
And then championship will be Friday, May 9th, so a week after that first semifinal. So we'll be back on Friday, ESPN Plus, YouTube, or the Hard Rock Bet app if you're in Florida. Speaking of being in Florida, you can join us live on those Friday nights. First serve at 7 p.m. Remember to follow us at Jai-Alai League on Twitter and Instagram, and to always stay up to date on the Jai-Alai action. We'll see you back here on Friday. It will be the Fireballs and the Chargers as we continue on our Winter 25 season. See you then.
See you Friday at 7.
Do you have any serving rituals?
Yeah, I have a lot of them.
Today we're comparing the tennis ball to the Jai-Alai ball.
Just like that effortless look, but it's really a lot of effort.
5 facts about Battle Court Jai-Alai you didn't know.
The ball averages a speed of 150 miles an hour, and the world record is 190 miles an hour.
Hi, my name is Anderson, and I cracked this glass.
I love y'all boys!